Girl, oh, child, I wasn't. Okay, I'm not that big. I was not even supposed to be here, or or supposed to be doing a live tonight. But all of this stuff happened, and I was just like, well, I was going to do this tomorrow. But when all of this stuff happened with the Bachelorette, I'm just like, I got to talk about it now. And so I like rushed home from Culver City. If you're from LA, you know I was out in them streets. I was far out. So I got here as fast as I could because I have to talk to you guys about it. Let's get into it. The first thing we're going to start off with, because we're going to end with Taylor, because there was so much stuff. There was so much stuff with Taylor Freaky Paul. Well, all I got to say about this before we get into the other topics is I'm just early. Didn't we say this would happen, Star Family? Didn't we say this would happen? Anyway, we're first going to talk about the Real Housewives of New York because I had no idea about that. I didn't know that it was a reboot. Okay. A reboot of a reboot. I didn't know about that. Then we're going to get into the Real Housewives of Miami. Then we are going to, because girl, I can't believe Andy. Then we are going to talk about the updates for Huda and Louis and their crazy situation. And then we're going to end with Taylor. My God, today, child. My God, today.
Let's juicy stuff we waiting until the last.
Yes, because we're going to need more time with that. Everything else we can just get right through. So let's get into it. We're first going to talk about the Real Housewives of New York. First, I didn't know that there was a reboot of a reboot. I thought that the show was done, but apparently not only is it happening, but they've already cast and they're starting filming this week. I was like, oh, okay.
They got a different cast?
Yeah, they got a different cast. They kept like 3 originals, and then it's like this different cast. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not excited about it, but we'll talk about it. So we're going to read the article from Variety. Oh, you know what? Let me share it with you. Why not? So you guys can read along with me. I know you love to watch my beautiful face read, but you know, let's read it together. All right, that's good enough. I wanted it to look different, but it is what it is. So, wait, that's not it. Hold on. That's the wrong one. Hold on. You know what? Since we're here, let's just talk about it. Then we'll get into the Real Housewives of New York. So with the Real Housewives of Miami, since this article is up, we're going to talk about it. With the Real Housewives of Miami, I have always said, and we have always said that this was Bravo's best show. So I don't understand why we are here. But let's read the article and then let's piece together what's actually happening here. So this is from Variety. Bravo hits pause on the Real Housewives of Miami amid low ratings. I think that is basura. After weeks of worried murmurs in the Bravo sphere about the status of the Real Housewives of Miami, a source confirms to Variety that Bravo has indeed hit pause on the show, which concluded its 7th season in October. The show, though beloved among devoted Bravo fans, is the least watched entry among the network's Real Housewives series. It's not the first time the Real Housewives of Miami has undergone a reset. In October 2021, Bravo announced that the Real Housewives of Miami would be returning to television as a Peacock original, more than 8 years after its 3rd season concluded in 2013. After season 3 on Bravo, Real Housewives of Miami was shelved, but it was never canceled, and the show returned with a mixture of original cast members: Larsa Pippen, Alexia Echevarria, Lisa Hutchinson, Adriana Di Morna, and Marisol Patton. and new ones. Season 6 and 7 then ran on Bravo, but despite the quality of the show, it's never been among the highest rated of the Bravo Real Housewives offerings. Season 7 wasn't its strongest installment, and before Bravo paused the show, several cast members were thought to be on the chopping block after having had difficult seasons. Nevertheless, even season 7 bestowed viewers with many gifts, such as Demorna accusing her former best friend forever and possible lover, Julia Lamagova, of having an affair with a Haitian mortician during one of the reunion episodes.
Wow.
Iconic. Immediately iconic. The Real Housewives of Miami has featured a mostly Latina cast, as well as Bravo's first out full-time LGBTQ cast member, and Lamagova, allegedly child, who is married to tennis star Martina Navratilova. The show is produced by purveyors of pop, Matt Anderson, Nate Green, Cooper Green, Max. It's too many people. That's the problem. And Andy Cohen, executive produces. All right, child. Let's talk about it. Here's the thing. I kind of knew that we would get here, and here is why. I think the low ratings comment is a throwaway. Miami has not had lower ratings than Orange County. And I know the ratings are not as low as the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think this show got shelved for two reasons. One, Alexia's man is suing Bravo. It's complicated. I knew with him still actively suing Bravo that was going to be a filming issue, especially with Alexia going back to this man and being in a relationship with him. Let me bring up a picture of Miami while I'm talking about them. So I kind of knew that it would be sticky and dicey and probably really difficult to film. So when I got word that it was a pause, I was just like, okay, this makes sense, because I was just like, how are they going to film with one of their main cast members, an anchor of the show, if we're being honest with you, dating someone that is actively suing Bravo? It was just, I just didn't know how they would do it. So this pause to me made sense. That was the first thing I thought of. I was just like, oh, Alexia's man is suing Bravo. Yeah, I see them putting it on pause until this case works its way out and we see how things go. But this dude is not letting up on Bravo, and he might actually get a settlement. Because remember, he's a nasty lawyer, right? Second, this cast is mainly Latina. Hello. What is going on in America right now? There's no way that these women can get on the show and not talk about ICE. Because if they try it, their community would rip them to shreds. And I know it's probably going to be somebody who is going to have something to say about it. Probably Gertie, right? And I don't think that they want to make Bravo a platform for that. Even though Andy is very vocal about his political views, and even though y'all cuss him out every time he tries to make a political statement, y'all cuss him out and y'all say, well, listen, you are the one that platform all these MAGA people, so what are you talking about? Y'all don't let up on him, and I don't know why he's still on the internet. Anyway, I think that's another reason. I think it's because Alexia's man is suing Bravo, and I also think it's because they don't want to talk about ICE. It's a mainly Latina cast, Cuban, right? And they are getting deported in record numbers. I think that there's just no way that they cannot talk about it. And I don't think that Bravo wants to tackle that, especially because we have a dictator who is absolutely insane, and it will create problems for them money-wise, right? It is what it is right now. We don't have a president, we have a dictator. So everybody's scared. Nobody wants to rock the boat. And I think that is where we are. I don't think it's low ratings. I don't, because if you're going to go off a show being put on pause or taken off the air for low ratings, then you have to make that same argument for the Real Housewives of Orange County, who continues to get renewed because it's Andy's baby, right? And then you have to make that argument for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is garbage. Nobody's watching it. The ratings are very low. And word on the street is that everybody at Bravo is moving crazy about how this show has dropped so low in the ratings. but there's still no pause. Andy's excited about the reunion. Like, you guys are still moving forward. Like, you guys are going to give the show another season. If you give the show another season, then you are really going to be in the doghouse, because it's not going to make any sense to shelve Miami for having low ratings, but not shelve the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And also, this pause is coming so late. This show been off the air. So right around the time when they're supposed to start filming, you release this statement that the show is put on pause. The show is put on pause because Alexia is still dating that lawyer that's suing y'all and probably got a case. And the show is put on pause because you don't want them Cubans talking about ICE. That's what I think is happening here. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comments. Oh, what's going on? Why are my comments coming up? There we go. I'm like, what's up with my comments, child? Tuesday. I like to lay low. Guess that. We could be up and I Jesse Fierce, hey sister, said, hey, wow, so much news to cover. What is happening? What is happening? Where are my what is it called? Astrology girls. What's going on in retrograde and Mercury and Scorpio? What's happening here? There's a lot of chaos going on.
Scorpio.
This
is March.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I apologize.
And neither do I. Neglectic said, hey y'all, Bachelorette canceled, and now Jesse from Single Lives of Mormon Wives is getting a divorce. It's only Thursday. My God, today. Here's the thing with that. I'm not going to cover Single Lives of Mormon Wives because I can't platform MAGA people. It has gotten so bad. I'm like, no, not on here. But I think that's happening because they don't have to keep up a storyline anymore, because I think Single Lives of Mormon Wives is probably going to be put on pause as well. The show is already effectively, they put the cameras on, they stopped filming. It's on pause. So we don't know if it's coming back, but I think she's just like, well, if the show ain't coming back, I don't got to keep up this facade. Let me get out of this mess and let me move on to other things, which is smart. I always say, do not allow the one show that you're on, especially as a reality TV show star, to be your only source of income. Foolish to do that. E for Empathy said, there it is. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Star fam. Let's get into it. I'm not upset about Miami. I'm so upset about Miami. She was that girl. She was their best show. Miami was their best show. They did not put money into it. Even Alexia clocked Andy on Watch What Happens Live about how he does not put the effort into Miami that he puts into other shows. And I happen to agree. Those other shows do not deliver like Miami does. Ever. And the advertising for Miami is terrible. It should have stayed on Peacock if y'all was going to let it flop on Bravo. Hey, Simone. Simone said, I need a drink after the day these Mormons put us through. But they always been messy, child. They always been messy. I really honestly think that the Bachelorette Mormon Wives are going to, I think this is going to be the thing that really changes reality TV, because the backlash was swift. Miss Pound Sugar said, whiteness and proximity to whiteness can only protect you for so long. These folks learn today. Sure. Pepe said, hi, Star fam. Hey, Nikki. Missed you all and hope everyone has an awesome day. Can't wait for this live. Thank you for being here, Pepe. Spitzy said, hey, Nikki and Star fam, excited to hear your thoughts on this mess. Ciao. Zora said, hey, Nikki and everyone, happy almost Friday. Yes. Can you believe it? The mess that has happened today, it feels like it should be on a Friday. Neglecting said, ABC looks for real foolishness, knowing Taylor's history and still ignoring it. You now have millions of dollars in sponsorship and advertisement down the drain. This is going to be a very expensive and monumental fallout. This is crazy. But we told them. Jasmine said, hey, Nikki and Star fam, I know this isn't one of the topics, but according to Revolt, Alondria is attending. Send me the press release. Send me that press release, child.
You could have just got it from me. I told you she was going.
We kind of knew, but we needed it to be official.
Nick.
Well, you can't. You can't take a guess. You have to be invited.
You can.
You can't. Ma, have you been to the mall?
All the people took people and they weren't
You
invited.
cannot bring a guest. You have to be invited.
He was not invited.
Mom, the designer pays for a table. And they invite the people that they want. You can't just bring somebody.
Well,
this ain't a home good shopping trip, girl. It's the Met.
Say no if she can't bring her Nick.
Absolutely not. Now we love Nick, but she's not losing no opportunities. Blue Moonish said ABC needs to dump all the episodes on streaming. I absolutely agree. That's what I think they are going to do. Bianca said, I was actually going to watch the season because of the drama. Here's the thing. Me too. I hate to say it. I was like, oh, this is ghetto. Neglected said Taylor bombed all of her interviews yesterday, especially the Good Morning America one. You could see she was very nervous about certain questions. It's almost as if she wasn't prepped. Child, she wasn't. How could you prepare for this? Hey, Barb Meets World, how are you? Hey, Kathy, thank you for being here. Hey, Hannah, thank you for being here. Hey, Cameron said, hey, everybody, I'm here. Hey, baby. Hey, Dear Show Podcast. Dear Show Podcast said, I need more proof about this Miami news. I can't believe it, Jesus. It's a mess. I said Miami of all places. After the Haitian mortician, we're getting rid of Miami. Hey, Sarah, thank you for being here. And Star Fam, I can't wait to catch up with the replay gang. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Denard, thank you for being here. Mama Star said, hi, Star family. Mama Star is here for the review. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Love you all. Thank you, Mama. Neglected said, just like Chelsea on Love is Blind, production needs to stop listening to former leads contestant when it comes to casting. They listen to Nick Val, and now they're in a mess. You need to listen to your audience. Those are the people that are keeping your lights on. I don't understand why they never listen to the viewers. The viewers are the ones who are watching the shows. The viewers are the reason why you have the advertisers to pay for your show. And if you are not taking our suggestions, then you're going to end up with seasons. Hey, Kiki, thank you for being here. Lover said, glad to make it to alive. This is ghetto, honey. Also, they already put out episode 1 with all the former Bachelorettes and Taylor. Now this a mess. Movable said, I bet they'll put the filmed Bachelorette episodes on Hulu either as some lost season or they'll slice it and dice it into. Yeah, that might be smart. That might be smart. Hey, Deco, thank you for being here. LB said, just in time. Hey, y'all, Nikki, the Bang is cute. Thank you so much. Ashley says, your eyeshadow looks so pretty and I love your background. Like, this is literally my kitchen. The only reason why I'm down here is because we've been in a heat wave and it's just been so hot and the kitchen has been like the coolest place. So I'm glad y'all love my kitchen. I'll stay down here. Janelle said, Louis is not going to leave Huda because he likes the perks that comes with her, good or bad. I have to agree. Miss Kimberly said, I love the core. Thank you so much.
But you know what about Huey or Louis? Whatever his name is, that's a dangerous game to play. And
very dangerous, child.
It's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
He's playing a game that he will not be able to get to be so easy.
Child. Simply Sabol said, I knew there was going to be a lot. It, like when I saw that cancellation, listen, I dropped my little sister off at the airport. I said, bye, girl, love you. Safe travels. I got to get home. I was like, ooh, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen so fast. It's Cinnamon said, hi, Nikki. Love your look tonight. Thank you, It's Cinnamon. Yes, Zora, that's what it is. Zora said eyeshadow is popping. Hello, spring. Why not? L Boogie said, and did, we did, but folks don't listen to us. And that's why. If you just listen to black women, if you just listen to your viewers, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Bad Girls Club. Y'all, if you watch that mess, you know what I'm talking about. Hannah said, I blame that cancellation of Real Housewives of Miami on how they didn't handle the Gertie situation. Oh, absolutely. But I don't think that's why they did it. No way. No way they would cancel the show to defend a black woman. And we just have to be honest. They did it because of that lawsuit. Dear Show Podcast says if Miami's indeed on pause, it's given racism. They don't want them sugar plantation Cubanos talking about ICE. Like, how can they not talk about it? And the Latino community would drag them if they didn't. Like, you cannot act like that's not happening, especially in Miami. No way. No way. Polymer Girl said, to be honest, if the Real Housewives of Miami is canceled, I say good. After the racist, aggressive way they treated Gertie, bye-bye, and see them never again. Kiki, yeah, Kiki was a disappointment, but you know the girl that go along and get along, child. Cameron said, I think Miami got out on pause because of, okay. Cameron. Oh, he did? Oh, did he? Who can check that to see? Wait, let me check. It's hard. Because Alexia is still with him. Oh, he did. He dismissed it.
Who?
He did it in December.
Who?
And he cannot refile the lawsuit. Okay, E for Empathy is right. Todd Napola. He dropped his lawsuit, was officially dismissed. His $11 million defamation lawsuit against Bravo and NBC Universal was dismissed with prejudice in late December 2025. By dismissing with prejudice, Napola cannot refile the lawsuit, which alleged the network fabricated financial hardships to create false storylines. And he cannot revisit this.
He probably got a couple hours from them to drop it.
That could be it too. Because he did it.
Yeah.
So that means there probably was some kind of settlement.
Yeah. Some quiet settlement, because honey, he's online. He got a new apartment and all of that. This new house he's talking about.
That Bravo money.
Really? All that, and that house is short. It's a loft upstairs, downstairs.
Mama, we talking about Alexia's husband Todd and not Candy's husband?
Oh, we talking about
you talking about Candy's Todd? Mom, thank you.
You know what?
Cannoli said I was
thinking we talking about.
Yes,
him.
I'm talking about Alexia's Todd from the Real Housewives of Miami. Cannoli said I was hoping you go live today. Yay! Thank you for being here. Hannah said the cast are mainly Latinas, but voted for this man. They wouldn't talk about it. But here's the thing: I think they would have to, because it would not go well for them. They would lose more if they came on this show and did not talk about what was happening with their own people, especially in Miami. That is, especially in Miami, a place that is going hella blue. Hella blue. All of their elections are going to Democrats. I think, I don't want to say what it was, maybe mayor, I'm not sure. But there was a Democrat that won in Miami that hadn't had a Democrat in 33 years.
Yeah.
They would have had to talk about it. No way. No way. Yes, he did. Oh.
The White House is being painted blue.
Paula Girl said, I heard Todd actually didn't drop the suit because Bravo, NBC, and Universal were trying to settle. He's a gringo man, so he doesn't have minority fare. Let him fight. Well, he did drop it, but with him dropping it, and
it probably was a settlement, honey.
Yeah, I agree with my mom. I think that there was some settlement. But we could, who knows?
We can't talk about it because that's a Bravo way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't talk about it.
NC said, it annoys me that good shows like The Real Housewives of Miami, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and Family Karma get axed all while the white mediocrity shows i.e. regular Summer House, Beverly Hills, and Orange County are glorified by the white mediocrity audience. They can do bad, and what's going to happen is they will take the money, all of them do it. They will take the money that they make from Black and people of color shows, and they will funnel it into those white shows and their budgets. It happens all the time in this industry. Back shots on a balcony. That's my girl. I love Stepmom. Bianca said, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ratings are down, but it's still the highest rated amongst the other shows, which I don't get. I'll be honest with you, Bianca. I don't get it either. It's just, I'm like, are y'all padding those numbers? No way are they getting these views. I don't believe it. K235 said, also, given what the U.S. is doing to Cuba right now, it makes sense that they wouldn't want to platform a show full of Cuban Americans. Like, there's no way that they can sit there and act like what's happening in Miami isn't happening. Yeah, Cammie said, Bravo is quick to pause the people of color shows. Quick. They never get a chance. They can never fail. Paula Girl said, that bloody Mercury retrograde be gone. It's a real thing, yo. It is, child. It is. Jasmine said, I just tagged you in the Instagram post. Let's see. Big shots on the balcony.
Nicole.
Sorry, Mom.
Not big shots.
On a balcony.
Well, they're going to give him a tip.
This is revolt.
Oh, they ejected him.
This is Jay-Z and Beyonce is coming.
To where?
I don't see her name. Laura, Zoe, Pink Pantheress, Anote, Gabrielle Union, Sierra. She's going.
What?
She's going. Alandria's going to the Met.
Yes!
She's going. Oh my.
And Jay-Z and Beyonce coming.
Yeah, Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to be there. She's going to the Met. Beyonce is going to love on her. Oh, she's going to the Met.
She better take Nick.
Oh, she can't, Mom.
Yes, she can. Look at the
Oh, Alandria. Oh, this is so huge. Won't he do it? Oh, they tried to destroy our girl. Yes, she's going to the Met, y'all. Woo! But we knew it. We manifested that. Hey, To Us for Life. Thank you so much for being here. Elbig's at the airport. Were there lines out the door? Actually, no. It was like real dry at the airport. LAX, for that matter. Ciao. Guys, I got home so fast. I ain't never got home that fast from LAX. Pepe said, I wouldn't have been able to handle all this information if it dropped tomorrow on the top of March Madness, right? WNC said, wait, I must know if Lenny pays up. Will Lisa H marry her boyfriend if she gets the lump sum she's looking for? I need eyes on those black boys adopted by Julia. I'm scared. Real Housewives of Miami. Me too. I thought they had good storylines going into the new season. I knew there was going to be a cast shakeup, but I felt like it was going to be Julia that was going to be the one to go because I felt like she was the one that caused the most controversy. But my God, today, putting a pause on the whole show is crazy. Simone said, I for sure thought that the Bachelorette cancellation would come in the morning. They cut that quick. That's where I was like, I can talk about it tomorrow because I thought that they were going to announce it tomorrow. It wasn't an hour. That video dropped and ABC said, bye. Bye. KG said they can't get rid of Miami. We don't need Real Housewives of Beverly Hills at this point. The model doesn't work anymore for the city. I agree. Oh, thank you, Jazzy. Thank you so much. KG said the ICE issue is unavoidable, but most of the cast are immigrant themselves. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of them are probably going to do fake activism and be like, oh, ICE, por favor. Yeah, my Spanish is. But I felt like a lot of them were going to do fake activism because their community was going to tear them to shreds. So I knew that that was going to be a conversation. And if they settled with Todd, they're just going to make Miami pay for that budget. They're going to be like, what we paid Todd was your budget. So we'll see you soon. Kathy said, thank you so much for the super chat, Kathy. Kathy said, whole setup is beautiful, face and background. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you guys love my kitchen. I'm going to be here more since you guys like this so much. This is it. This is our background, child. Coos Girl said, hey, Nikki, I'm late to the party, but hopefully I didn't miss too much. No, you didn't. I'm about to get into our next subject. Pepe said, the way I'm crying, you and Mama Star are so funny. I was just like, ain't no way she's following Todd Napola. Ain't no way. Jasmine said, I think the housewives need to stay away from men named Todd, Candy, Alexi, and Bronwyn. Yes. Yes. Hey, Bustola, thank you for being here. Oh my God, she's going to the Met. Our baby's going to the Met. Yes. Yes. Janelle said, Landry at the Met while Huda fighting kids, baby mama and baby daddies in court. Love this. Ciao. Let's get into the Real Housewives of New York. Rhony 2.0. Child, who would have thought? Who would have thought? So this is actually from Bravo. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you can back shots on a balcony. Let me share my screen so we can read it together. Back shots on a balcony. I'm about to say, I thought I shared my screen. There it is. Oh, wait, let me. Cy DeSilva, Jessel Tonk, and Aaron Likely return for Real Housewives of New York season 16, along with some newbies. So these Real Housewives are ready to take a big bite of the apple all over again. It's been confirmed that Cy DeSilva, Jessel Tank, and Tonk and Aaron Likey are back as the official cast. Weird for me. Weird. I'm going to just be honest about that. Aside from Jessel, I feel like Cy and Aaron, no shade, were boring for TV. So I don't know why these were the three. Aside from Jessel, I don't know why Aaron and Cy came back. As the original cast of The Real Housewives of New York City for the upcoming season 16, it was also revealed that Haley Glassman, Erica Hammond, and Daisy Toy are joining Real Housewives New York as full-time housewives. Have no idea who they are. We're going to look at their Instagrams. But that's not all to be excited about. As cameras start rolling on the new season of Rhony this week, have room for a little more news. We have even more Rhony season 16 scoop for you. It's also been confirmed that, and that's what I'm excited about, Carol Radziwill will return as a friend of the ladies and hang out with the group in the new season. What to expect? from season 16 of Rhony. Stay tuned. Besides the casting news, an announcement about season 16 Rhony notes that more information on the upcoming season will be announced at a later date. So, I have no idea who these ladies are. I looked them up, and maybe you guys can tell me, but I don't know who these women are. So we're going to look at their Instagrams because I'm just like, who are these people? And I don't feel like, for me, that they are going to like really match what Rhony is. It's so, the casting for a lot of these shows have been so terrible, and I don't know what is happening. I mean, is this the MAGA effect again? It's so weird, but I'm hyped about Carolyn. I really loved her on Rhony. I hate what happened to her and Bethany so quickly, but I enjoyed watching her. And for me, she felt like New York, right? Like, you know, you married into the Kennedy family, right? No, she knew the Kennedys. Is she a Kennedy? You know, anyway, she hung out with John and his wife. They were like, she would go on like double dates with her husband and them. And she married a prince. She was really involved in, you know, the New York scene. I felt like she fit for New York. She made sense to me. These other women don't make sense, but we are going to look at them together, child. There we go. Let's bring it up. Big shots on our winning. First person we're bringing up is Daisy Beauty Toy. Who is this? And no shade to Miss Daisy. Wait a minute. I'm going to fix this. Do I like how this is? Let me see. Do I like it like this? No. Yeah, we're going to go back. Anyway, who's Daisy Beauty Toy? I'm and no shade to Daisy. Well, I'm just like, is Daisy giving New York? I do know that she's Martha Stewart's makeup artist, but do y'all know anything about Daisy? It's not giving New York City to me. Maybe she messy. I don't know.
On the plane, holding two. She has two of these. And we're both on the plane like this. People look at us crazy, but we don't care because we have good, tight skin.
And I don't, you know, I'm not being ageist, right? Never that.
So I didn't really want to mention anything about the Lima Laser Pro until
selling us some facial stuff. Listen, I'm not, please know that I'm not being ageist. What I really liked about the Housewife shows is that they were giving new life to older women who would have aged out of entertainment. They were giving them platforms, and I really love that. I love that the show skewed older. I also love when the show was at its roots was based off of Desperate Housewives. So we had a younger, middle of the road cast, and then an older cast, and they all meshed. It just seems like this season is just going to be like, you know, Gen X and Boomerville. I'm like, what? It's New York City. I'm going to be mad honest with you. I don't want to know what like boomers in New York are doing. No shade, but it's like New York City. I want to know what the girls is doing who are really out and about. What's going on with the girls? And that was my problem with Rhony. I just didn't feel like they were like real New Yorkers, right? I felt like the way that they were dressing and the outfits and everything that they were doing, I just didn't feel like it was authentic. And maybe real New Yorkers don't want to be on this show, but I don't know. I think I'm going to have to reboot this again, child, because it's not working. It's not working. And then next up, we have Erica Hammond. Now, Erica's younger, right? But Erica don't give New York to me. But I do want to point out, Erica is the girl that had this wedding in Egypt that was just like so rich. It was so rich, this wedding got dragged. People were just like, you gotta be kidding me. But you know, she got a little cute husband, a little cute Desi husband. But their wedding was really popular. And I remember, who his name? Lance Bass. I remember he got dragged for performing at the wedding. And he was like, I got paid to be there. Y'all getting mad at me. I was paid to be there. This was work. Y'all doing too much on me. Back up off of me.
I wouldn't have said a word.
She created, period. She created a workout called Knockout that was developed at Equinox. Okay. Let me hear her accent if she has one.
To help me and teach me how to do my makeup. We're doing the Dior. It's the Forever Glow.
No, I don't want to hear nobody talking like that on New York. Come on.
That's not a real.
Is anybody from Long Island? This don't look like a New York cast. This is disappointing. And no shade, you know.
I am headed to you, and I'm so excited. Lululemon is bringing a new high-performance training space to LA. I'll be teaching box and sculpt on that.
And that's where she should be. The Real Housewives of LA. That's what she gives me. When we watch these shows, we watch the show for the authenticity of the city. These people just moved to, it's gentrifiers of New York now at this point. We don't want to watch gentrifiers. We want to watch real New York girls. And listen, I'm not saying, I'll take that back what I said about gentrifiers. I mean, we want girls who have been in New York City since like college, if they're not from New York. You know what I mean? Girls who have been like, I was interning here. I was interning at Rock Nation or something like that. And I worked my way up. That's what I want to know. I don't want to hear that you moved there 5 years ago because you got an opportunity at Equinox. What are you giving? Because it don't seem like you're going to be giving anything. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This is just my initial take, but I was not wrong about the reboot of Rhony. I was just like, it's not going to be given because these are not real New York girls. And this is what happened. Next up, we have Haley Glassman. Do you guys know about her? I don't know nothing about this lady.
Handle your business, enjoy life, stay sexy, and don't.
That's not her voice. That's not Miss Haley's voice. But this is Haley Glassman. Okay. Where are the fashions?
Some people are just
Like, where are the fashions?
some people.
I love a pumpkin patch, but I ain't seen a fur yet. This is it, y'all. This is Haley. This is Haley, child. Is the youngest person on the show Jessel? At 30, damn 9? Oh my gosh. Oh, wrinkle prevention device. So this is another skincare girl. Okay, bravo. I don't know. No shade. Maybe these ladies are going to bring it. I wasn't wrong about the last cast. And I think I might be right about this one. Authentic New York girls. You can't get a Dominican from the Bronx. My God, today. You don't have an African-American girl who has a brownstone in Harlem that's freaking pedigree. Like, why is it so hard to cast New York? Why is it so hard to cast New York? I'm so bothered by this because New York was one of my favorite shows. And I just feel like since the OGs, they cannot get it right. Those are all my thoughts. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Brittany said, Nikki, did you watch The Dugars? Another one of their sons was accused of sexual assault. I feel so bad for the girls in that family. No, I never watched The Dugars because I knew that they were weirdos from the beginning. Like, I don't know how America convinced themselves that those people were wholesome. I said, oh, I knew exactly what this was. They all were weirdos. They were all weird, very perverted, very freaky. The way that mom would talk about the daughters and how they have to serve her husband. I was just like, how is this wholesome? Who is this wholesome to? I've been knew that they were weird. Never got into that show. I told you, I'm always early. I've been knew that show was full of pervs. Been knew. And here we are. Lock the mama up next. Lock the mama up next. Ben knew they were weirdos. How they became America's family? Child. Pepe said, the way I'm crying, you and Mama Star are funny having two turtles. Paulo Girl said, Nikki, I heard some white people saying that the Beverly Hills ratings are inflated by Andrew adding his Watch What Happens Live episodes. Here's the thing. I don't think those Watch What Happens Live episodes would help the ratings. But I do think they're inflated. Hannah said, who still wants Rhony? They still don't get how to make that show work. Yeah. It's just you have to, if you want it to work, you have to get authentic girls from New York City. You mean to tell me there is not an African-American woman or a Latina who is dating or married to a rap pioneer in New York freaking City? We can't get one of Jada Kiss's baby mamas. Like, I mean, that's New York. What are we doing? Drewski said, technically, Rhony 3.0 at this point, and to think all those white ladies had to do was not be super racist. Well, now they just gave us a cast of unknown white ladies. What? Put it on pause. Put it on pause. You didn't like Jenna Pink Petals? I actually like Jenna. Ephraim said, I love Jess so happy she's coming back. Me too. I feel like Jessel needs to be the center apple. She's fun. We like her. She's relatable. She gives New York to me. Like, not, New York transplant who came there to work and really, saw what the show was about. And I think she made the proper adjustments to really gain an audience. So I really, really like her. I don't see it for Sai or Aaron. I just don't think they're interesting. They give me Mean Girls on TV. I don't know them in person, never met them. I actually would see Sai on YouTube, and she seems to be like this really cool, fly fashion girl that had like a lot of, I don't know if Sai identifies as Black, but had like a lot of Black friends in the fashion industry, and her YouTube was more interesting than her Housewives performance. So I don't know what's happening there, but I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Hopefully Carolyn will, take it to the next level. I hate that she's a friend of, but I think she just wants to show up and do what she wants to do and not have them in her business. So I get that, but she's New York to me. These other ladies don't give New York. This casting, I don't see it for the casting. Hopefully I'm wrong. Drewski said, we gave Bryn a lot of benefit of the doubt, but something about her is, I don't know, girl, but she needed help. She was having identity issues as an adult woman. She had a lot of issues that she did not work through. Reality TV is not the place to work through those things. Dear show, oh my God. Hannah said they refuse to add more black women on the cast. It doesn't make sense at all. I don't see how you have an all-white cast aside from Cy and Jessel, but a majority white cast in New York freaking City. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Now with Aaron being Jewish, I get it. With Aaron being Jewish and Israeli, I get it. That's New York City. I get it. Jessel represents the transplant that works in fashion. Cy is the fashion girl, right? The New Yorican fashion girl. Who the mother broads? Who? Martha Stewart, makeup art. Martha freaking Stewart! We can't get painted by Esther? I don't understand. Two is for life, said Lord Rhony, but I have to say Aaron, Cy, and Jessel were the only ones that would get in the field. True. Aaron was my favorite, but she's a chaos agent. I knew they keep her. Her and that messy husband. Paula Girl said, wait, Nikki, you don't remember? No, I do. I remember her. I get a little mixed up, y'all. Hannah said they already found out that one of the new additions is highly problematic. Here we go. No, Ryan, the Bachelorette is last. Yes, she married his cousin. He was a prince, right? Yeah, he was a prince. Paula said, seriously, I haven't cared about the Rhony reboot. Bandwidth of shows with no rep is thin. I understand. WNC said the inability to discuss politics, art, finances, connections, family, and how things are affecting their communities is the problem. They're bland now because no one wants to be real. And also, these girls are connected like that. They are. Two is for life said, I don't know any of these folks in good. The unknowns are usually the hungry ones. They're willing to go there. The celebs, Jenna, usually give nothing because they're worried about their image. Understandable. Paula Girl said, I'll give you gripey for empathy, but then I started LOL. He's just ridiculous and I bothered. Oh, you guys are having a personal conversation. I love it. Hey, Vaca, thank you so much. You're right on time. Zora said, TLC just picks anyone and plops them on TV. It's like they're allergic to researching a person and doing a background check. Well, here's the thing. They're going to have to really start doing more background checks than they've ever done before, especially after the Bachelorette. Oh, those background checks are about to be ironclad, baby. They are about to be looking up stuff you did in the third grade. Because that Bachelorette, that was an expensive mistake. K235 said, and this is my fear when it comes to Love is Blind Philly. It's going to be a bunch of transplants and nobody who actually grew up in Philly culture, just unauthentic and unseasoned. And that will be their downfall. Philadelphians do not play. Chelsea better get off the internet. If that season is full of transplants and people from Jersey, she better get off the internet. No, absolutely not. Been fine, still fine, Zora. You're not the only one. Pepe said, shoot, bring back Crazy Heather at this point. Oh, yes, bring her back. And mix it with the new girls. Make Countess Luann a friend of the show. In your Herman Munster shoes. Coos Girlie said, maybe they need to cast a wider net into the tri-state area. Go to freaking Brooklyn. Why don't they go to Brooklyn? That's where Homegirl was, Alex. Go to Brooklyn. Like, what is going on? I'll even take Long Island. Do I want Long Island? No, Queens. Oh, she's from the UK? I thought she was in New York. Darn it. Let me digress for a minute. Have y'all seen Painted by Esther? Oh my God. That girl is gorgeous. I thought she was model. I thought she was a model on her page. That was actually her. Face card is crazy and body is crazy. I said, oh, I know a burly black man don't play about you, child. Two is for life said, I agree, Nikki. I'm not sure why Rhony is so hard to cast. And you're in New York City. It shouldn't be hard to cast. But until they get it right, leave us out of it, honey. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think this cast is, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. Yes, I am. I think I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. Check my page. K235 said, if they're going to be in New York City, the cast needs to be included at least one Latina, absolutely. Which I think that's what Psy is. One Jewish lady, yep. One Asian girl, one black person from the Caribbean, especially Jamaican, and one black American. I don't know why that's so hard. New York City has the best Chinatown in the United States. The best Chinatown. What do you mean? There's no Asian person, not even a Chinese sister that got a freaking empire of Chinese. There's a Chinese restaurant I'm thinking about now. The owners of that don't got no kids. A mess. KG said, I like Carol, but she's funny because she presented herself as being above the housewives thing now seems to have changed. Because what does Carol look like hanging out with this new cast? True. Listen, Carol is my girl, but girl, you did drag that show and you're back. Ciao. We're going to end with this. WNC said Alex and her husband being queer and freaky. Oh, I thought you meant Aaron. I read Aaron. Alex and her husband being queer and freaky in Brooklyn, trying to survive with friends, and Francois climbing strangers' legs, Ramona having tics into rest while hawking cheap jewelry. It was. Ramona ruined it. She is the reason why. She ruined the show. And let's be clear. Ramona wasn't cut from the show because she was being racist to it wasn't Ashley. What was her name? Ebony. Because she was being racist to Ebony. Ramona got removed from the show because remember when she attacked the Jewish community and said that they bullied her in college? And she went on that rant about the Jewish community. And even Countess William was like, enough, Ramona. Like everybody was trying to shut her up. That's what happened. That's why she got that show canceled. And Ebony clocked it. Ciao. She was great TV. And she's still nutty in the fruitcake. Her and her husband. You can't call her back? They would love that check. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Drunk as a skunk. Off her rocker. And would not shut up. What? I'm just telling what happened. It's my truth. You can't say anything about the Jewish community now. I knew that show wasn't coming back. I knew that. Oh, she's going to be on Girls Trip. Maybe they're testing her out. That's what they're doing with Nene. She going to be on the next season of Atlanta. They were testing her out, child. Anyway, let's move on to Huda, an update on this train wreck. The baby mama has finally spoken, and we're going to read it together. Ooh, TMZ. Listen, I don't want to use TMZ, but they've had all the information about this. Oh, let me bring Huda down. About this case. About Huda and Louis and the secret lives of Mormons and Taylor and all that stuff. So they just had everything. I do not like to platform them because I've been boycotting them because of what they did to Kobe, and they just an awful an awful sight all around, but this is where I'm getting the information from, and I want to be honest about that. So Love Island USA, Huda Mustafa's boyfriend's baby mama breaks her silence. I just want to say this. If Louis were white, they wouldn't have called her a baby mama. Love Island USA star Huda Mustafa is catching some serious heat from her boyfriend's baby mom, who recently found a restraining order against the reality star. And the baby mom is now speaking out to share her side of events leading up to legal action. Nicole Oliveira, the mother of Louis Russell's child, tells TMZ the situation escalated back on February 21st around 1:30 a.m. when she claims Huda showed up uninvited to her home. According to Nicole, Huda allegedly took an Uber to Nicole's LA apartment where she lives with her son and trespassed by forcing her way into the building, which Nicole says was captured on surveillance video. Nicole released the footage. She insists she never gave Huda access, either verbally or physically. Nicole claims Huda had been sending alarming messages for hours leading up to the incident, allegedly threatening to harm herself and saying she would not be here tomorrow after landing at LAX earlier that day. She tells us Huda later confronted Louis and demanded he swear on their son's life that he'd never leave her. Nicole tells us, I never wanted my son in the public eye, especially involved in anything negative. Nicole says the entire situation had nothing to do with her or her son, and she's now focused solely on protecting her child, which is why she's taking legal action. She adds she doesn't want drama, a response, or even an apology, just privacy and safety for her family. Still, Nicole says she remains empathetic, adding this is an extremely unfortunate situation for everyone involved, while emphasizing her son's safety will always come first. Nicole says, I pray for her mental health. Ciao. Oh, we're not done. There's more. And then I have something else I want to talk to you guys about concerning this, but I'm going to read this next article from TMZ. And here we have Louis now claiming that Nicola is keeping their son away from him. Too hot to handle, Louis Russell. My ex says I have to break up with Huda to see my kid. And she's right. I want to read the update last. We're told Louis was living with Nicole and their son. And when she asked him to not allow someone who she just met to track their son's whereabouts, Huda went crazy on him. According to our source, after everything happened in February, Louis told Nicole she was right the whole time, down to her asking him not to let Huda know where his and Nicole lives. Our source tells us that Louis stayed with Nicole for the whole week after this incident. We're told Nicole made sure Huda never met their son and that Louis encouraged Nicole to file a restraining order and sent Nicole texts between him, Huda, and him. In court documents obtained by TMZ, Louis claims his ex-girlfriend Nicole Oliveira has unreasonably cut off all contact between him and their son Luca, despite Louis saying he agreed to have his girlfriend Huda Mustafa. He agreed to not have his girlfriend Huda Mustafa with him during their visits. According to the papers, Louis alleges Nicole is using Luca as a bargaining chip and has threatened to move out of state. He expands further. Louis says, I am seriously concerned that she will make good on this threat before she is served. I feel that she will move Luca. And I have a hard time finding our son and being a part, and I will have a hard time finding our son and being a part of his life. According to Louis, Nicole has threatened to move before and did so when we were in the UK. Because of this, Louis is seeking an emergency order from the court to give him joint legal custody and a concrete parenting and custody plan that allows him time with the child. Remember, Nicole got a temporary restraining order after claiming that Huda forced her way into Nicole's building last month. In response, Huda posted a message yesterday writing, I'm aware of what's being said and it's not true. I'm handling everything the right way by letting legal take care of it. I appreciate everyone who continues to support me. And the update is a source close to Nicole tells us that Louis also agreed to not allow Huda to meet their son, and that Nicole knew Huda was unstable and insecure from the very beginning.
Louis is wrong. And he needs to abide by her rules to not allow the son around Huda while he is still with her. And any judge that gives him joint custody is wrong.
Here's the thing. Louis was playing this game with Huda. And
it got serious.
I don't think he got serious with her. I think
the game got serious.
The game got serious. And I think that he bit off more than he could chew.
Bingo.
He hitched his wagon to this girl Star, thinking that she was going to be the Alondria, right? That she was going to have Alondria's success. And sorry, didn't happen. And instead, he got somebody who is just unwell, to the point where Nicola says that she already knew about this and they had a conversation about it. Here's the thing. Louis was scamming when he got with Huda. Louis, in my opinion, was with his baby mom, right? And he told his baby mom that this is just something to help me in my career, right? That's why I think she was okay with this relationship. That's why I think she was the one who said, listen, something is wrong with this girl. Be careful with this situation because our child is involved in this mess. I see you scamming and I see you conning. Do what you got to do to get to the next level, but let's not play with our son, right? It got a little too crazy when Huda showed up unannounced, but it seems like Louis been telling her about this girl, because that's how Nicole got the text messages to give to the courts to get a restraining order. Louis sent them to her, and he's texting her and telling her, "Oh, the girl she's doing too much. She's getting crazy again. She's doing all the things that she's been doing. I told you about her. She's doing all of this. It's too much. Be careful." All of this stuff. He complied and gave her all of the information that she needed to get the restraining order. And it seems like because Huda came out there, left her baby, flew 5.5 hours and took to LAX and took an Uber from LAX to him and his and her place to see where he's at. And this also lets me know that she didn't know that he was living with the baby mom. She thought that he was just over there visiting his son, which is what he told her. But they are roommates. So she found out all of this when she got there and started crashing out. Louis, trying to protect his relationship with his baby mom and his housing, complied with the baby mom and gave her all of that information that she needed for the restraining order against Huda. Huda is now crashing out, threatening this man, his child, and her own life, right? So she has done a little bit too much for this boy to handle, but he can't leave the situation. 1, because the girl is unwell. 2, he still thinks that she has star power that he can glean from. So he's voluntarily putting himself in this toxic situation. So now he has to make good with Huda. So now he's telling Huda that the baby mom don't want him to see his child because of Huda, while also now having to go to the courts to play this game to prove to Huda that he's telling the truth. This man is playing a dangerous game. He is playing a dangerous game because this incident, it backfired, and it'll backfire even more because what this lady did when she pulled that stunt with his child, he should have wrapped that up and let her go her separate way. But to not only intertwine yourself with this lady again, and now making your baby mom the villain and giving her the excuse that when he's not with her or he can't see her or he has to break up with her because of the baby mom, all it does is give this unwell woman ammo to go after that lady and your child. So when or if she does something to harm them, she'll say she did it for you. He is playing a dangerous game because he wants the baby mama, but he need her, so he thinks to get to a certain level of fame. So he's trying to play these two women, but he can only play one because the baby mama said, I'm out, and I don't want you around the kid because you are a liability because you keep on staying with this woman. I think when he was sending his baby mom the text messages, he was telling her that, oh, me and this girl is done. I'm over her, because you see the prior text conversations that we saw from Ricky, there was a prior conversation that they were having, and it was about Huda and how she is doing this stuff again. So they had already been chatting about how unhealthy this woman is. So now the baby mama is seeing he intertwined himself back with Huda again. They're taking all these couples photo shoots, and he's saying that, you know, the press is lying, and she's saying that the press is lying, and the baby mama is just like, oh, okay, so you want to keep on playing this game with this nut job? You won't be able to see my son. Absolutely not, because you're putting him in danger, and you're putting me in danger. And he absolutely is, because to stay in this relationship with this woman, to not only stay in a relationship with her, but to also inform her that the reason why you cannot see your child and the reason why you may have to break up with her is because of the baby mom, you are putting that lady in danger. She has every right to ban you from your child, her child, and her. You're putting them in danger.
Yeah.
If I was her, I would get a restraining order against you.
Period.
If I was her, I would take my kid out of LA or move, because this lady knows where we live now. She is making all the right decisions. He is now a liability because he chose to intertwine himself again with somebody who has proven to be dangerous to Nicola and dangerous to his son, Luca. Team Nicola. That's all I have to say, Star fam. What do you have to say? Let's get into the comments.
I say what you say.
I say what you say. We got another super chat. Thank you so much, Social Steph. Social Steph said, as someone who was in a high conflict custody situation for 5 years, Louis is full of ish and trying to save face after giving the baby mama the text. You are absolutely right. He's trying to play both women, but he can only play one because Nicola, she see what it is. She said, I'm getting me and my baby out of this immediately. A mother.
That you should.
A mother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me go into the comments. SEO says Honda fans are already bugging talking about his AI. You can't save those children. Those children are not the future. Vodka said, did you talk about Miami already? So sad. Not mad that Marisol's off my TV anyways. One good thing. Yeah, I talked about it, the story before the last one that I just did. If Ripley said, Louis did it to himself. When will men learn or gain even a grain of discernment? Foolish. Kathy said, child fame is a drug. Louis is hooked. Even his child can get used. Yep, that's exactly what it is. He wants to have that child with Huda and stage a photo shoot with the paparazzi and sell it to TMZ. That's exactly what it is. Nicola knows that. They're all out here trying to break into the industry. She know the game. And she's like, no, I don't want my son in the public eye. So no, you're not going to take our kid and go do a walk down Runyon Canyon with Huda while the paparazzi catches you doing intimate things with the kid. Not intimate like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, playing dad and stepmom with our child. Absolutely. She knows what he's trying to do, and she's blocking it, as she should. A judge will be foolish after everything that has happened to grant him joint custody. He does not want that kid to leave, not because he wants to be a father. He does not want that kid to leave because now that kid is a way to enhance his fame. Now he can finally use the child for his own personal gain. Because up until now, you ain't never heard Louis talk about being a father. You ain't never told Louis talk about Luca or any of that. Now he about to be Luca. Have him and Huda and the baby all over his social media.
He gonna be Luca from afar.
Period. According to Nicola, and I hope the judge sides with her. And he's going to use that kid and Huda to try to gain a reality TV show.
But he's playing a dangerous game.
He's playing a dangerous game.
First of all, the judge gonna see that she has psychological problems because she stated that she's gonna kill herself if he don't come.
And you want joint custody? What?
So if she get mad and kill you and the daggone child and herself. Oh no.
Boogie says, so you can't have custody. You're with a crazy woman. Like he's not thinking. He's not thinking. Malexi said, fame is fleeting and he better learn that quickly. Yep. El Boogie said, I wish there was a Donald Duck emoji for this moment. Spency said, Louis emergency hearing got denied. It did? Oh,
his
my.
emergency what?
His emergency hearing got denied. Let me go back. I don't see it.
Good.
I love how the courts ain't playing with him. I don't see anything.
Don't play with the Star family. You know they'll send it to you.
Yeah, the Star family got. I'm not denying the T. I'm just saying I don't see the T, child. Yeah, I don't see anything.
You have it at 2.4.
I do not see anything. I do not see anything. K235. You know what? Let me take this down. This picture is scaring me. K235 said, I mean, maybe if you weren't in a relationship with someone who was a threat to your child, the child's mother wouldn't feel the need to move away to protect your child. She also threatened her. Like, that girl is not okay. If you are threatening to kill yourself because he's not answering the door, why would I want my child around you?
He's a fool for being around her because I wouldn't want to be myself.
His thing is fame. He don't like Huda. He don't like that baby mama. He wants to be famous. That is his thing. We have another super chat. Thank you so much, Paliva Girl. Paliva Girl said, just a prayer I can only do occasionally. This is for your community. Oh, is this a thank you? Just a thank you I can only do occasionally. This is for your community, keeping me sane. Love y'all all. Oh, thank you so much, Paliva Girl. This was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. So Steph said the baby mama should file for relocation and have him put on supervised custody at his expense. I absolutely agree. And El Boogie said, and I'd sue Honda for my legal relocation expenses. Absolutely. But here's the thing. You got to listen to a woman because she told him from jump that girl wasn't okay. When he told her his con, that's the thing. If the baby mama really want to be petty, she can let the chopper sing and say, we've been together this whole time. He was using you to get a reality TV show. I went along with it because he told me that you was in on it. I didn't know that this was a real relationship. Now that I know, I want nothing to do with it. Leave me and my baby alone. You can have him. Matter of fact, his stuff, I done already put it outside. You can come and get it. You know how to get in my apartment, apparently.
Okay.
So you can come and pick it up. If she really want to be petty.
Okay.
Because those text messages and her saying that she already told him that girl was not okay lets me know they were in cahoots on scamming this woman. Well, Lou, I don't think that she knew. I think that she thought that this was some reality TV thing that they were faking because they all do that. They all fake these relationships. So I'm going to give it to her and say that she probably thought that Huda was in on it as well. Because it all happened so fast. Hannah said, neither Louis nor Hilda should be allowed to see their children. They are too hungry for fame.
That's true.
You got a point. You got a point. Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine said, does Louis even have a permanent place of residence? He was living with the baby mom. I think they were together. I don't want to listen. I don't want to judge her womb, but I'm just like, you let Louis of all people shoot up the club. I wouldn't even let him enter. My God, today. My God, today, Emma. Louis? Was there nobody else? Louis? She was in the trenches. K235 said, this is why moms are often the better parent because, well, we're about to get into Taylor. This is Taylor Frankie Paul, guys, not Taylor from Love Island. K235 said, this is why moms are often the better parent because women actually think about how their actions would affect their child, unlike many men who have kids. So stuff said, yes, it was denied, thankfully. Okay. Well, I'm actually not shocked by that. Because how do you file for joint custody after your girlfriend just went ballistic? You're not smart, Louis. WNC said the Louis Huda situation is an example of why I am adamant for every person with children be assigned tax-funded social workers and clinical psychologists because these adults aren't putting the children first. Ciao. K235 said, I don't even have kids and I'm so sick of baby fathers getting to just be selfish and irresponsible. Most women would never put their kid in the position Louis puts his child in unless they're on love after lockup. My God, today. Paulo Girl said, why does he want his kid near that demon? He wants his kid near that demon because he wants to set up paparazzi photo shoots. Everything this boy is doing is to be famous. This is the worst place to chase fame. Social Steph said he is delusional to think that he can get an ex parte emergency hearing for joint custody when he's in a relationship with someone who threatened his child and her mother. Men think everybody is stupid. K235 said he wasn't thinking about his kid. He was only thinking about his dingling and his wallet, like many men. You're right there. Emelina said, this is why people should be very careful with who they choose to have a child with. Louis doesn't seem to have any father at all. He's so young. He's so young. He was not ready to be anybody's father. El Bookie said, if I was a baby mama, I'd be like, play with me if you want to. I saved everything. If she really wanted, she could blow his spot up. But because she knows that Huda is unstable, she's not going to play that game because she knows it could be very deadly. Louis don't know that.
Not even that she knows it could be very deadly. She don't want to play that game. It's a child involved. It's not like they're all,
his child for that matter. His child. You're playing this game with your son.
But if it was no kids involved, that would be a different story. But a child is involved.
Yep. And only the baby mom is thinking about it. Only the baby mom is thinking about their kid. El Boogie said also, what even is his visa status? Does he have any legal rights here? I would like to know that as well. He has been here for a very long time.
He's bringing too much heat on his
He absolutely is. I'm just like, for you to be on a visa, you are in a lot of mess. A lot of mess. And I wouldn't play around with my visa status in America right now. And you're phenotypically black. You playing a dangerous game. You playing a dangerous game.
They will start looking you up.
Yep. WNC said worst place and worst time to chase fame. Absolutely. Social Steph said, I just look at Huda and I don't see what them 6 million people see. Is she supposed to be cute? It's giving Team Kardashian. It's not about her looks. It's about the fact that they didn't like Huda until Alandria and Shelly started to become more popular. That's what it is. Like her 6 million only came from the jealousy that a lot of non-Black women were feeling towards Shelly and Alandria becoming the it girls of Love Island. That's it. They don't like Huda either. They were the ones who wanted her off the show. And as soon as Shelly and Alandria started to become popular, all of a sudden, they were Team Huda. Y'all didn't like the Palestinian girl. Remember that? Remember that? Emma said their custody agreement is most likely 80-20, which makes sense. Sad because her son deserves a staying and present parent. Oh, Huda, a staying and present parent. Yep. Neglected said, with the way the entertainment industry is going, I'm not sure if being an influencer is even beneficial and lucrative as it was a few years ago. It absolutely isn't. You can see it right now, what happened at the Vanity Fair red carpet. All of a sudden, influencers shouldn't be on the red carpet. Influencers shouldn't be talking to celebrities. Influencers shouldn't be replacing journalists. Well, who started that? Now they're going to be using influencers as a scapegoat for why the industry is the way it is. The people you just started giving opportunities to, please. But unfortunately, it's not going to be a good time because Hollywood and the oligarchs are now going to make influencers the fall guy for everything that's happening. So Stuff said he's not getting joint custody and he doesn't have legal residence here. He needs to stay out of the courts and keep a low freaking profile. Shay Barcel Lee says, thank you. Her followers are due to the jealousy of Alandria and Shelley. They didn't like the two attractive, non-ambiguous Black women were cute and popular. That's exactly what it is. They didn't like Huda in the beginning. Elba, you said not to diaspora war, but this is one of the times where it would behoove folks from outside of America, but present Black, but present Black to understand the way we move here for their safety. I'll be honest with you. I would have been left America. If I were Louis, I don't know why y'all staying here on them visas. I would have been got out of here. Especially now that we're in war. Y'all crazy. I would have been went home where it's safe. That's all we're going to talk about with them. There probably might be more updates as the week goes on, and I'll be here to talk about it with you. Let's close out with the Bachelorette. Who's surprised? Who's surprised? Not us. Not us. Keep in mind, the network knew about her domestic violence charge. That mugshot has been out since 2023. So everybody clenching their pearls now is performative. Y'all knew who this woman was. Y'all thought that because of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because of the success of that show, that she was going to bring viewers to the Bachelorette. Here is how she got this position. So Taylor Frankie is a girl from Mom Talk. She blew up because they were all in some kind of orgy, and she decided to tell everybody's business. She blew up so much, she got a reality TV show with her and the moms, some of the moms from their crew that they had in the Mom Talk circle.
Right.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is a white ghetto mess. I don't know why ABC thought to cast somebody, the white ghetto queen of Utah, to make her the Bachelorette and that it was going to go well. You have to understand that ABC and Hulu, although ABC is the parent of Hulu, does not mean they have the same audience. ABC is squeaky clean. ABC is Disney, right? Hulu is Six Flags, Dorney Park, okay? Like a random carnival that just got put up 24 hours ago in Newark. Like it's not Disney. So to take somebody on one of the trashiest shows on Hulu and make them the lead of one of your most cookie cutter shows was a terrible mistake, an expensive mistake, because everybody who watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was just like, what are they? This don't make no, oh, this ain't gonna go well. everybody who watched that show knew that we would be here. I will say, I and the Star family thought that when that mugshot came out, that she would never have had a shot at being the Bachelorette. You watch the season, you see that her and her baby daddy clearly got some substance abuse issues. Very clear. No shade. That couple gives Kensington, Philadelphia, especially from the mugshots. Some things are happening there, and it ain't just the sugary soda. They got some stuff going on in Utah, okay? So it was very obvious that these two have some issues that they're dealing with, and that's probably why they came together, because they probably bonded in their addiction, which is, you know, you have to be honest, it's those toxic couples, unfortunately, especially those who bond with addiction, they last long. They're going to be toxic. They're going to fight. They're going to have issues. They're going to come up pregnant again, because that's just the thing, that addiction binds them together. To make her the lead of your Christian, evangelical Christian cookie cutter show is crazy. Homegirl is obviously suffering with some issues, some substance abuse issues, and some mental issues, because we can, some trauma from her childhood, as we found out when we watched the first season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and she sat down with a mother who denied everything. Why make this lady who has so many issues, so many uncontrollable issues, she's a huge liability. And what I think they thought was that TikTok and the Hulu audience of this show, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, was going to come over to The Bachelorette. Because here is the thing. What's happening with The Bachelorette, what's happening with all of the Bachelor shows, is that they are all on the chopping block. The problem is these shows are not getting the views that they used to. The Golden Bachelor, the recent season of The Golden Bachelor, was so bad the network thought about pulling it because the views were terrible, especially when their lead came out and did that podcast talking about how he wanted somebody who was 40 and he didn't like them old hags of the show cast. His season was done. And nobody really watched it. It was really, really bad. So what they did with no research, this is the thing. Executives, them old boomer executives, you got to put them out the pasture. You got to retire them. You got to bring in the millennials, because they know what's up. They will do the proper researching and vetting of your cast members. And because that season of The Golden Bachelor was so bad, and the prior Bachelor shows before that was so bad, Bachelor was in jeopardy. So what they said was, let's get Taylor Frankie, who was really, big with Mom Talk, and, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is doing really, really well. Let's get her, and let's hope that the Hulu and TikTok audience comes to this show and watches it. And as soon as she announced, baby, I went right to the Bachelor page. Those comments, dragging them for filth. Everybody and their mama was just like, have you watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Why is she the lead? Nobody understood this. This did not make any sense. But what happened was that they did not care that she was controversial, and they did not do their proper research and vet this lady, because if they did, they would not have had the fallout with the audience when she was announced. And they had ample time, because everybody was just like, she's not it. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Mother got problems. She has issues. I wouldn't do that if I were you. But they still went along with it without doing the proper research, doing the proper vetting. They still went along with it because they were trying to save the show. And I won't put this on ABC, right? This was on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor Nation, all of everybody over there at ABC. They were trying to save their show because ABC was saying, we cannot justify the budgets for these shows if people aren't watching them. So what happens is, if people don't watch these shows, then the advertisers don't want to buy commercials during these shows. That is how shows are able to get the budgets that they get, because the network can sell these shows to advertisers and be like, oh, we get 5 million views an episode. Advertisers will buy commercials during the breaks in between this show, because they're thinking that 5 million people are going to watch their commercial. Now the network can't go back to advertisers and say, oh, 5 million people watch this show. Now they got to be like, well, last season we got, a max of 250,000 people watching. That's a good number if it were WeTV. It's not a good number for ABC. So if you cannot justify millions of people watching the show, then you cannot justify the price that you were going to charge Nestle or Coach or Old Navy. Mom!
What happened?
You gotta wake up. I can hear you snoring.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you
I
were.
wasn't. I was thinking out loud.
You were snoring.
I was not. And don't say that on the NikkiNicoleStar family.
Well, you were so freaking loud. I kept on getting loud trying to talk over your snore. I told you to not get cozy on the couch.
I had the flu getting over.
You do not. You had the flu in January. Sorry.
I'm gonna go to my room.
Thank you. My mom sits here and she gets cozy on. She's in the corner. You know that corner of the couch. That is where everybody falls asleep. I said, Mom, I'm about to get on. Don't get cozy, because as soon as you get cozy, I know what's going to happen. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Thank you so much, Mama Star. But, I was talking about advertisers. Mm-hmm. So you can't justify charging Nestle or Coach or Old Navy or Pampers, or the Bible. You can't justify charging them $2.3 million a commercial if only 250,000 people are watching. They're going to be like, well, if only 250,000 people are going to watch, we'll do $50K for a 30-second spot. Like, that's how it goes. And if the network is not going to make money off of the advertisers, because you also have to realize they're making money from the advertisers, but some of that money is going to have to go to the budget of the show. So if they're not going to make that money, they can't justify the budget. So you lose your budget. And if you lose your budget, people get fired. And then if you lose your budget, people get fired, and you can't produce the show that you were able to produce before, everything is gone. I remember when we first talked about this, I was just like, when she was announced, I was just like, she's going to make sure that The Bachelor, all of the shows get canceled. I don't think The Bachelor is going to be able, all of the Bachelor shows, I don't think they're going to be able to survive over at ABC, because they were already on their last legs, and she was supposed to be the saving grace. Not only was she not the saving grace, she has cost them up to $50 million. Here is why. It's cost about $2 to $3 million to produce an episode. You got to film, shoot, travel, location, and all of that. And you also have to pay cast, crew, crafty. Everything is mad expensive, right? So it's about $2 to $3 million. It's about 18 episodes a season. You have that. Then you also have to think about advertising. So let's say it's about 20 million, right, to produce an entire season of The Bachelorette, because it's like 3 million episode. 20 million just to produce the show. Advertising, give or take about 10 million. So we're already at about 30 million at this point. Because you also have to think advertising is not just commercials. It's cast appearances. It's specials, right? It's paying shows and podcasts to sit down with the upcoming cast. That adds up. Travel, housing. That special that they just did with all the former bachelorettes, they had to pay them heifers. They had to pay them. Not only did they have to pay them, they had to pay to produce. They had to pay to produce that special. They all don't live in LA. You got to fly everybody out. You got hair and makeup. You have to pay for their set. You have to pay to feed them. Then you have to pay what they are all charging you now as their appearance fee. That all adds up. And then we're not even at advertisers. So this is a very expensive mistake that The Bachelor made. ABC didn't make this. This is what The Bachelor did with their budget. This was their risk. So everybody's like, the network. The network only greenlights after everything is done. You have to they give you a budget and you present to them what you have, that they say yay or nay. They say, change this, change that, take it back, or it's a go. Let's go. That didn't happen. So this woman cost them an estimate of about $30 million. The Bachelor will not be able to survive this. I'm telling you, I think ABC might get rid of all of those shows.
The only thing I heard though is that they did know, and they thought she was going to be a popular person, so they thought they could get around it. I just heard from a source that
the network,
I heard
ABC knew this.
I'm not going to say that ABC knew. Sometimes the production company, I don't know. I heard that it maybe they didn't tell. Maybe I don't know. I just heard that.
No, you went from knowing this to now you don't know. Girl, what?
I'm trying to think about the platform that I'm on. What I heard was this information was not new to certain people. And
The Bachelor, they knew about her.
Right.
I don't think the network knew how much of a liability she was. I don't think they would have greenlit her. What's happening is the network is only looking at the secret lives of Mormon wives. You have to realize they are very oblivious to everything. What they're doing is they're trusting the people that they hired, which is these production companies. They're trusting them to do their due diligence. And if they don't do their due diligence, and now you've cost them $30 million, they'll just get rid of you. And I think that is probably what's going to happen. I also think that the network we talked about it briefly, might just throw these shows on the whole season on Hulu for everybody to just binge. I don't think it's going to happen now. I think it may happen maybe in the summer or something, because they probably want to do this to recoup their loss, because they're not getting the money back that they paid the production company to produce The Bachelorette. They're not getting that money back. So they're going to have to make it up. So I don't think we will never see this season. I think we will, but I think we'll see this season when all of the drama dies down. There's also been a rumor floating around that the network is going to sue her. I don't think they will, because at the end of the day, this is a white single mom. And white women already are trying to make excuses for the way for her assaulting Dakota. So I don't think that'll work well for them. Forgive me if you don't know what happened. For those who I'm talking like everybody knows. So what happened is this lady, Taylor Paul Frankie, she is the lead of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The Bachelorette wanted to cast her as the lead for the Bachelorette season because their shows have not been doing very well over at ABC, and they were hoping that she would bring a new audience and younger eyes to the Bachelorette. Although in 2023, she and her baby father were arrested for mutual combat. And their mugshots were released. It was a big thing in 2023. Her season is supposed to air, I think, this upcoming Monday. Today, a video dropped of a recording of her baby father, Dakota, filming her assaulting him, punching him, grabbing his hair, throwing 3 bar stool chairs at him. And I don't think she was trying to throw it at her child, but Dakota ducked, and one of the chairs went into the direction of her child. She did not seem to be very much there. And it also seemed like Dakota started filming after I won't say he riled her up, but there was the recording happened while they were in the midst of while she was in the midst of assaulting him. So we don't know what happened before. We don't know what he said. We don't know what he did. We don't know what she said or did. All we know is those of us who saw the video was that she was physically assaulting this man and putting her child in physical danger. The child was screaming and crying for her. It wasn't a good look for her. It wasn't a good look for her. The video was very bad. I did not think that ABC would cancel this season immediately. I thought they were going to take a day. Why? She's white. She's white and she's Mormon. And she's a single mom. So I thought that they would give her a bit more grace, but she got the Black American treatment, child. They canceled that show with the quickness. I knew they were going to cancel the season. I don't know if they canceled the show yet, but I knew they would cancel the season because that video wasn't good. It was not a good look at all. And there are some people, white women, who are saying, let me say this to the white women who are defending this. You guys don't look good. You guys don't look good. Was the video timed at a specific time to make Dakota look like the victim? Probably. But all we have is that video right now. You all defending what that woman did to him is insane. You don't look good. It is not a good look. It is, I know that there are some women who watched that and said, oh, well, she could be doing this because of the abuse that he gave to her. Nobody's denying that, but all you have is this video. So to make other scenarios other from what you are seeing and make a scenario that you have not seen is absolutely ridiculous. And it just proves why so many men do not speak up about domestic violence, because it's not believed. And to be a woman and have your own abuse not be believed, for you to deny another person's abuse with your own eyes because of their gender, it doesn't look good. I don't care how bad of a person he is. She should not have done what she did to him. It just shouldn't have happened. Her child shouldn't have been in the room, and she should not have put her own child in danger. Now, listen, if you don't like Dakota, okay, you think that he should have got beat up by her, that's what you think. But then what about her child? Was that okay for you? And the thing about it is, even if you can see yourself in someone, that doesn't make the awful things that they did okay. Just because you can relate to them culturally or gender-wise or as a single mom, it's still not okay. In the video, that man asked her to stop. She didn't. She kept on going. He asked her to stop. She continued. And then got 3 weapons. You can't justify that. You can't justify that. You don't look good defending that. And then it just makes, you also look like somebody victims who don't look like Taylor, who aren't white, who aren't popular. It makes those victims not trust you. And then it also proves that you have never been safe for non-white people. It's not a good, cut it out. Cut it out. I can't believe so many are defending this nonsense. Cut it out. Let's get into some articles. So the first article we are going to talk, well, here's the thing. I didn't want to talk about that. I was going to read an article. We're just going to talk about it real quick. I also knew this show was getting canned when Cinnabon said she does not align with how. When Cinnabon cut the cord, I knew that advertisers were going to follow. Cinnabon said no. We are not, we don't know, we're dropping Taylor. We won't be advertising on that show because she does not align with our values. Right after that, Meta said, we are not going to be advertising with this show. We do not support Taylor. She does not align. Meta says she does not align with our views. I knew as soon as the advertisers started pulling out, the season was a wrap. Because if you don't have advertisers, you don't have a show. And I know Meta paid the grip to advertise during that show. So that was already, the network was already bleeding money at this point. So when that started happening, I was like, yeah, this show is getting canned.
And they have to return that money.
They have to, because in their contract, they have to. Because they signed up for a squeaky clean show. They didn't sign up for domestic violence. And before we get into the articles, I also want to talk about this. A lot of people are also saying, oh, Dakota did this and he timed it right. Probably. Because
this ain't the first time.
This ain't the first time, but here is what I think happened. And that video of the clip that we saw of that video of Taylor assaulting Dakota was from 2023. That was from when they all got arrested, when they both got arrested for mutual combat. So was it absolutely convenient that this video dropped right before the season? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was like, I thought the same thing too. He's denying it, saying that he didn't do it. Here is what I think. I think he held that video as a bargaining tool, right? Because she had more to lose than he did. I think that she went on The Bachelorette because she was offered. She didn't audition or anything. They offered it to her and they offered her a lot of money. So, you know what? Speaking of that money, she may have to return that.
Of course.
Yeah, she may have to return that. Girl, I hope you did not spend that check.
Of course, she done signed all these things.
I hope you did. That's what they may sue you for.
But she needs to sue them.
Yeah.
They didn't do their due diligence.
Yeah, I think she can, because all of this is public knowledge.
Yeah.
She could be like, oh, y'all knew.
Yeah.
So
It had been out.
listen, if you spent that money, girl, fight it. Anyway, I think 2 days ago, her and Dakota got into another altercation. Police were called. We haven't seen any mugshots from that event yet.
She got, wait a minute. She's still with him at the Almaden.
Here is what I think. I don't think they ever broke up. I'm telling you, I think their addiction is binding them together. So she played it off with the winner of the show is Doug. So she played it off with him, but I don't think she ever broke up with Dakota. I think she had to play the game like most people on The Bachelor and Bachelorette do. So we're not even going to act like she's doing a huge offense. Everybody on The Bachelor and Bachelorette do that. They have a partner that they say, I got to leave for 6 months because I got to do this show. I'm trying to hustle. I'm trying to get put on. Just respect it. Wait for me. I'll come back to you. It never really happens. So what I think happened was Dakota stood in the back, allow her to do what she was going to do. They started filming for The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and he started to feel some way because she probably didn't keep up her end of the bargain, or he just felt some way that her star was rising and he wasn't a part of that. And probably so, and that argument that they had probably prompted, this is one reasoning, it may not be true, but probably that argument or altercation that they had in his anger probably prompted him to sell that video to TMZ. Now that could be one thing. Or TMZ and their messy behinds could have went looking for the video from the altercation that just happened and wasn't able to get that, but they were able to get the altercation from 2023, which is more of what I think happened. I think TMZ, like all of us, heard about that altercation and went looking for the mugshots and for the police video of the incident and happened to luck upon that footage from 2023 because that is what he submitted to the authorities when he was complaining about or letting the authorities know that he was the victim and not the abuser. So that could have happened as well. I'm leaning more towards TMZ was looking for the footage and got that instead, just because TMZ is just a horrible, it's a horrible site. So I wouldn't put it past them. It was either Dakota or it was TMZ, and TMZ dropping this right before the season, it works well for them. Why? Because everybody's on their site now. So they're making the money that ABC would have made from the Bachelorette, and they're making it in a couple of stories because now everybody's on their page, myself included, and I've been boycotting them since they disrespected Kobe. That could be it as well. But let's get into some articles that I think are important. So after this video, and just know this, guys, I will not be showing the video because we're not doing that here. But this is an article where Taylor says that she will share her side of the story. This is her breaking her silence after the video was shown of her assaulting Dakota. So Taylor Frankie Paul is speaking out after ABC pulled the plug on her season of The Bachelorette. She promised she'll tell her side of the story amid the ongoing escalating drama and appears to take a dig at her ex. A spokesperson for Taylor tells TMZ Taylor is very grateful for ABC support as she prioritizes her family, safety, and security. They continued after years of silently suffering extensive and mental and physical abuse, as well as threats of retaliation. Taylor is finally gaining the strength to face her accuser and taking steps to ensure that she and her children are protected from any further harm. The spokesperson seems to take a dig at Taylor's ex, Dakota, adding, "There are too many women who are suffering in silence as they survive aggressive, jealous ex-partners who refuse to let them move on with their lives." I'm telling you, he got jealous. They ended the statement saying, "Taylor has remained silent out of fear of further abuse, retaliation, and public shaming. She is currently exploring all of her options, seeking support, and preparing to own and share her story." Now, when this video was released, this wasn't even the video. When the incident that happened like 2 days ago with her and Dakota, when that incident was released, she had been on all these shows, Good Morning America, everything, talking about, the incident and that she will share her side of the story and that what we are hearing is not true. And when she can, like what her publicist said, when she is safe to share, she will share. But right now she can't talk about it.
No, she can't talk about it.
They got another kid. Oh my God, I thought it was just the daughter. This is when my God, today, all these freaking ads. This is when she was on Good Morning America. She was very evasive about what had just happened. And she gave a very PR statement, but I don't think it really helped her. She kept on saying it was a very heavy time for her, and she just wanted to focus on The Bachelorette. But during the interview, host Laura Spencer presses Taylor to confirm the report of production getting paused. And Taylor dances around the question, saying she doesn't call the shots with production, though she admits she's gotten word about the halt. And this is about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because apparently they were filming the show when this incident happened. And so because of the incident, they shut down production on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. She then claims she doesn't know how long the pause will last or even why it happened. The exchange gets even more eyebrow raising when the anchor points out that Taylor is now an executive producer on the show. So yeah, you think she knows exactly what's going on. Taylor goes on to say it's hard to picture her life on the show moving forward, given her current circumstances, admitting that right now it feels like the end of the world. She also says she plans to speak her truth about the situation at the right time, but for now, she's focused on her kids. Also, when Good Morning America mentions they reached out to Dakota for comment, Taylor's reaction pretty much says it all. Here's the thing. The people who support her and hate Dakota, get ready. These two are going to get back together. These two are not done. They're going to find their way to each other. That addiction is going to find its way. And that's the thing that I think is really the most important thing. I think these two both have some substance issues. And making them the leads of your TV show was not smart. And why I said previously that I think that this is going to affect reality TV in a major way, this $30+ million lesson that ABC learned, I think a lot of networks are going to be like, okay, maybe we need to stop hiring nutcases and let's go. I think reality TV is going to probably get a bit more cookie cutter now, right? I think they're going to start looking for more healthy and stable people now for these shows. The problem is healthy and stable people don't go on reality TV, at least the majority of them. So casting is going to be very hard. It is very easy to find people who are suffering with some kind of trauma or addiction, because that trauma and that addiction controls them. So they make those decisions through that trauma and that addiction. They're not thinking with a clear head. They're not making the best choices for themselves because they're doing it as a trauma response or because they're doing it as a need to pay for their addiction. So it's going to be very hard moving forward with casting. But I think this $30+ million lesson for ABC, it's going to, I think it's going to be like a tidal wave throughout the industry. And they're just going to be like, yeah, we're going to learn from ABC and we're probably going to cast a little differently now. So I think this shakeup with this season, this cancellation, all of this drama, I think that Taylor is going to be a huge reason why reality TV does not look the same. The last thing I want to talk about is this article. I think it's Variety. Hold on. I think it was on Variety. Thought I had it here. Here it is. A huge $1 million fallout over the Bachelorette. This is now with Warner Brothers and ABC. ABC and Warner Brothers Discovery are in a meltdown as a tidal wave of ripple effects from the cancellation of the Bachelorette is already being realized. Sources with direct knowledge tells us the show costs around $2 million an episode to produce, and they are already finger pointing, and we're told shouting over who's to blame and who should shoulder the cost. We're told only one of the episodes, the one that was supposed to air Sunday night, is in the can. 3 more are in progress of being edited, and the remainder pretty much haven't been touched. This is before the cancellation. Our sources says there's a huge post-production staff that will now have to be laid off. There's an enormously costly problem the network is now facing. ABC has a number of trade-outs where airlines, hotels, and various other companies and brands pay money in return for FaceTime on the show. ABC will almost certainly lose that money, and we're told it's a fortune. Another big problem, one of the top 4 contenders on The Bachelorette is supposed to be cast as the next Bachelor on the companion franchise, largely based on the audience reaction. We're told producers pretty much knew the people who were in the running, but it was also predicted on that contender becoming famous from The Bachelorette. Now producers have to start from scratch because those contenders are no longer viable. Our sources say the next season of The Bachelor will either be delayed or they will pick someone who has already been on the show, and that's not ideal for ratings. As for who will ultimately shoulder the financial losses, Warner Brothers Discovery or ABC, we're told there's already a fight brewing and the losses will likely be split in some form. And the fight is over who's responsible for casting Taylor Frankie. The video I won't say that. So I'm going to tell you right now, the casting department is gone. They are firing casting.
Not only that, casting knew.
Well, no, but casting, that's the thing. I'm saying that they're firing casting because casting is going to be the fall guy, right? There was some executive or some bigwig on production who made the call for Taylor. Somebody, some EP whose kid watches The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and was just like, this show is big. These kids love her. They made that call. But casting is going to be the fall guy because they always sacrifice those under the big wigs. Casting is going to be the fall guy. So whoever was a part of the casting department, the casting team, they're gone. They're absolutely gone. Post-production, gone. Those editors, everybody who's working over there in post-production, unemployed. And they were supposed to start working now. These people were probably supposed to show up to work on Monday. Probably Friday, because the show was supposed to air on Sunday. And they probably said no to jobs. They probably turned down opportunities because they knew that they had at least 3 months of work lined up for The Bachelorette. And now that work is no longer there. So we have a $30+ million fallout. And now we have a whole team of people who are out of 3 or 4 months of work, who could all possibly sue for probably $30 million. This is nasty. This is nasty. Guys, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. This is crazy. And if you would have just listened to the audience, none of this would have happened. Nobody wanted her. Also, you pick somebody who is not from your franchise. You pick somebody who is on a hit show on a streaming service. Streaming and network TV are not the same. It's not the same audience. So that was also a huge risk to pick somebody who is not a part of Bachelor Nation and who is popular on a streaming service. 2 different audiences. This was such a dumb decision. I don't know who they're going to get rid of, but casting is done. And it's either going to be an EP or an executive at ABC or Warner Brothers that's going to also be fired for this. Because they also have to think about how they can get that money back. And a lot of times their first thought is, who can we get rid of? Stop paying those salaries. Don't pay out those contracts. Fire them. So that's why I know it's going to be at least one exec, because that exec probably gets like millions of dollars. So that's some way to recoup. They're going to get that money back. They are going to get that money back. And it might be through getting rid of The Bachelor altogether. Everything under the Bachelor umbrella. I don't think Paradise is going to come back because Paradise is an expensive show. Probably more expensive than The Bachelor and Bachelorette. travel for what? 30 people? Travel and lodging, feeding them, paying union rates for some of these people, and travel, lodging, and feeding a whole production team. It's probably more expensive than the Bachelorette to film. There's going to be a lot of firings coming from this, because the fact that they had to pull that season, that was real. Because who would make the decision like that? Who would want to make a decision like that to lose $30+ million? Nobody wants to make that kind of decision. But to make that very expensive decision, somebody going to have to pay. And it won't be the network. They're going to get rid of somebody low on a totem pole and one executive. They're going to do their due diligence, and they're going to do the research and go through them emails and find the exec who suggested her and everybody who signed off on her. The board may be safe, but baby, firings are coming. And I will say this, outside of Taylor's daughter, the next person I would have any empathy for is Taylor. Because they knew who she was. So you knew who she was, you made her the lead of your show, and now you have to act like she's a villain. Now you're going to cut ties with her, throw her under the bus. Now everybody's clenching their pearls, and she doesn't align with your views. Her mugshot was released in 2023. You had access to that video before TMZ. You knew who she was. You took the risk. And that's what you get when you take a risk like that. I also feel like this whole fallout is going to change how reality TV will now operate at Warner Brothers and at ABC. I would hate to be the reality shows at ABC and Warner Brothers, because now them execs are going to be there from the beginning to the end. Now they're going to be mad strict about everything. And you hate when executives show up to the set, because they are looking at everything. Now they're probably going to assign a daily exec to the new reality TV shows that are coming out, or the reality TV shows that have already been there, because they can't make this mistake again. They cannot make this mistake again. So there's going to be an exec now, probably at all their reality TV shows on set, just looking. Just sitting there in their executive chair, watching everything, making everybody uncomfortable. Oh my God. This is going to be, the money is nothing compared to what ABC and Warner Brothers is about to lose. We're just getting started, guys. We are just getting started with this nonsense. But shout out to Taylor. They knew who she was. She didn't do anything. Well, she didn't do anything wrong with the Bachelorette. They knew who she was. They were banking on that. Y'all were banking on the ghetto-ness, the Utah ghetto-ness. Y'all were banking on that to bring viewers to your show that was doing poorly in the ratings. I will say this. It might actually work if they drop it on Hulu. It might actually work, because people who never knew about her know about her now. So they might be able to get some money back from this season. But it was a really expensive gamble. And so you piss off the advertisers, but you inadvertently got some new eyes on this show. But I don't know. I don't know if Mom Talk can survive this. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I don't know if that pause will be indefinite. It could be, because the show was based around her and her nonsense with Dakota. And now that everybody is clutching their pearls, acting like the abuse that these two have been doing since season 1 is now a bad thing. Now everybody switched up. Now everybody got moral high standards. Now everybody cares about men getting abused and the safety of her child. Now that everybody suddenly cares. I don't know if that show gonna come back, especially if it's based around her and Dakota, two people who are now villains. They were your reality TV show darlings because you love the chaos and the mess. You lived for the drama. Now they're villains. Now everybody done switched up, and now they're villains. So we can't watch their toxic arguments anymore. Like the show wasn't going viral for that. So the show might not come back. Because now all the viewers have a moral high ground. And now Taylor and Dakota are the villains when they were the stars. And also, they could be very well pissed at her. Because they bet on her and they lost $30+ million. So they could be very well pissed at that lady. And now with her being the executive producer, they might do something slick. Cancel the show, recast it, put it under a different name, and just not have her be a part of it. Because if you keep the show going, you got to give her coin, at least for this season, because she's an EP. She not only is she an EP, this is her intellectual property. She brought the show to them, and they bought it from her. She's all up and down the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. If this lady wanted to play ball and get a nasty lawyer, she might be able to do a little something. She might be able to do a little something, and she might be able to win back a lot of the audience is now clutching their pearls and do the whole girl power thing where she is saying, well, my abuser was able to change the narrative. And now a video where he's showing me reacting to him has me looking like an abuser. And I lost everything because of this man's jealousy. And the network that once supported me and the show that begged me to be the lead of their show is now throwing me by the wayside and making me the villain. I'm losing everything, and I can't, because of the narrative that they're twisting on me without any real facts. I am losing everything, and I am now not able to care for myself or my children. And what am I going to do? I'm going to be my own Aaron Brockovich, and I am going to take on $1 billion network. There will be so many white women who will eat that up. Girl power. Take your power back. You can imagine the drama, the paparazzi catching this woman as she goes to court and her ghetto Utah fits fighting ABC and Warner Brothers. They might make her a bigger star than she already is. Who knows how this is going to go, but it's going to be messy for a long time. And we'll be here to talk about it. That's all I have to say. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Mama Star says, Star family. Mama Star just dozed off a little bit. Now she's admitting it. NikkiStar is hard on me. Yes. She dozed off again just now.
No, I did not.
Mom, get out the corner. That's the problem.
I'm sitting up here changing the channel.
You were in the corner again. Stay out of the corner. You're going to fall asleep if you get in the corner.
You paid
Lord.
If you paid as much attention, you see that the Star family is helping.
They are. They're always on your side. Miss Brown Sugar said, oh, I think ABC did do their research. They just thought people would swallow the trash they gave because they've been getting away with it for years. I will say, and I'm not defending the network, but I'm going to be very honest with you. The networks don't know anything because they show up right before the show was almost finished wrapping. And you just tell them whatever they want to hear. That's it. They don't really know what the show is like until it's like edited and they watch it. And they don't even watch the whole thing. So they're not really that hands-on because they're trusting that the production company did what they told them to do. Now, I think that's going to change, child. Now, production knew who she was. They knew exactly who she was. That's why they cast her. Cameron said, this whole situation with the Bachelorette is giving me flashbacks to Megan Wants a Millionaire. The show was canceled before it could even start. I feel bad for all the guys who were on the show. What happened on that show? What happened? What happened with Megan Wants a Millionaire?
Megan wanted a millionaire.
So Stuff said, Nikki, I messaged you because you are my Bachelor correspondent. I'm so glad you went live. Child, how could I not? Child, how could I not? Pepe says she didn't just throw one chair, she threw two. Like, girl, and your kids are there. Honestly, I don't think she did not, in that video, she didn't seem present. There was a lot happening there. Her and that is something going on with her and that boy. Everybody's like, oh, it's just alcohol. That watered down alcohol in Utah is not doing that to them, y'all. It's something else. It's something else. Hannah says, in the video, when she threw the chairs at Dakota, she also hit her daughter because he ducked. What a father. What a father. Like, he's not innocent either. Because that's your daughter. Is that his daughter? Wait, is that his baby? Anyway, there's a small child in there crying for her mom. Get that child out of there. But you both hear the baby crying, but you want to film.
That's not the first time that they have.
That's not the first time that it happened. I think these two are just toxic. I think they both beat up on each other. And I think that they make up over a substance. I think that's what's happening here. And I'm telling you right now, you're never going to be able to break up a couple in love with crack. I'm not saying it's crack. I'm just saying they give crack. I'm not saying they on crack. It's crack activities happening. But you're not going to be able to, them people got to get clean. Fully sober. I think she was sober filming The Bachelorette. She probably came home and relapsed with that man. Like, no shade. If you are, if you got a family member who suffers with substance abuse, this looks very familiar. The eyes tell the story. And Melina said, the double standard is crazy. If she wasn't white, she would have never gotten this opportunity. Absolutely. Absolutely. We all know what this is. Cameron said, the whole situation with the Bachelorette is giving me flashback. Oh, well, what happened with Megan Wants a Millionaire? Listen, I thought she was something else too, but they're saying she's white. They're saying that her mom is a white Latina. So I'm like, okay, if that's what y'all say, I'm gonna go with it. Chrissy said, why didn't they cast someone in Bachelor Nation? When they announced it was her, I was genuinely upset. I hope they learned their lesson. Well, they cast her because the Bachelor shows have not been doing well. This was Bachelor. They went after her because they were hoping that she would bring new viewers to the show.
Yeah, the viewers from over at the other show.
So I'm trying to find the article that I read. There was an article that I read, and it was about the Golden Bachelor. Because the Golden Bachelor was terrible.
The Golden Bachelor only had, 2 episodes? I mean,
Mm-hmm. It was Variety. I can't find that article. I should have had it ready to go. But in that article, wait, I think this is it. This is from AOL. I'll share my screen with you because we like AOL. They're not problematic, and we'll read it together. Let's go. Disney, this is from October 2025. Disney is reportedly desperate to revive the Bachelor franchise amid Golden Bachelor ratings dip. Things aren't looking good in Bachelor Nation as the number of women on Mel Owens' season, The Golden Bachelor, continues to dwindle. So too do the series' subpar ratings. And according to a new report, things are getting so bad, some are wondering if ABC will cancel The Golden Bachelor rather than renewing for a third season. The Sun first reported on behind the scenes panic, noting that this season of The Golden Bachelor has brought in about half of the viewers of season 1. A show insider told the paper at this point, it's just outright embarrassing. According to the source, the lackluster ratings have production second guessing their choice to make Mel Owens the lead. He wasn't the right pick, and they see that now, but didn't see it until it was too late, said the insider. That mixed with the overall interest in the franchise dropping, and you have the dismal numbers that the show is left with. The insider claimed that while the studio was past the point of being upset by the decrease in viewership, so much so that it might be time to end the Golden Bachelor and even the entire Bachelor franchise for good. They are doing everything they can to revive this franchise from the dead, the source said. It might be time to put it to bed for good. Any self-respecting member of Bachelor Nation can tell that the producers are doing their best to shake things up. Just this summer, season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise turned the Journey for Love into a cash prize competition. And according to the insider, the studio was hoping that casting the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star Taylor Frankie Paul will boost ratings enough to save the franchise. They are putting pressure on Taylor to be the saving grace of the entire franchise because without her season being a success, there's a good chance it will get moved to streaming. The source for The Sun added, and there's always a chance it could get canceled altogether. So here's another thing, Taylor. You can also say that you probably, cracked under the pressure from this show because they were putting the survival of the franchise on your back. That's all the help I'm giving you. McGlecty says she had Dakota and WWE moves and chokeholds. Like, come on, ABC. And listen, was it a very convenient video? Absolutely. She didn't have any videos of him, doing what he does, right? I think that these two, it's just a toxic couple. They don't need to be around each other. Unfortunately, they have a child together or children together. So they're going to never be no contact. But something has to happen because these two are not good for each other. Movable said ABC wanted interesting, but too lazy to look for a compelling lead. So instead they went for messy and famous, and voila, cancel season. I love Six Flags, but it's no Disney. It's no Disney. I love Dorney Park, but we know what it is. We know what it is. Knott's Berry Farm. Okay? Hulu is the Knott's Berry Farm to ABC's Disney. Emelina said, and she didn't even check up on the child after the kid got hit. Just said, I don't think she could check up on the child. In that video, she did not seem like she was there. I was like, yeah, you were, something was happening. Something was happening. Hannah said, yep, you said it was bad and horrible when it was announced. What? Why would you make your lead somebody who just got arrested for domestic violence? Why would you make her the lead of your show? There was already video out about her arrest. It just didn't make sense. They took a very expensive gamble. And this is where we are. This is where we are. You can't get mad at nobody. You did this to yourself. You got to take that L. My problem is the fallout from this. Post-production, unemployed. Reality TV shows after this, the network is going to crack down on all of them. A lot of stuff is not going to get made or be canned because of this fallout, because they're going to try to recoup their money. Shows that should have a bigger budget are not going to be able to get a bigger budget. They're going to be stingy now. And everybody who worked on the Bachelor franchise might be unemployed. That's the thing. You have to think about all those things when you make somebody like this the lead of your show. Now, all of those people are going to be unemployed. And if they sit down with SAG might say, you got a case. We're suing them. If they sit down with the producers union and the producers union say, you got a case. We're suing on your behalf. This could get very messy. Very messy. Neglected said Taylor was the one that ABC threw the life raft to save Bachelor Nation franchise, and now she's going to be the one who's going to think it. They're going to throw her onto the bus. And she better be ready. You're taking on $2 billion networks. Be ready, mama. Be ready. It could work in your favor if you lean into it the right way and get away from that man.
It ain't no getting around it because they have the proof that's in the pudding. You can say what happened before then, but they have a video. She is.
But they been had that video. There's another video prior to this of her getting arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah, and
so they knew who she was.
She probably don't want them to show that.
Well, it's already been shown. This was a new video. Pepe said she's crazy and hopes she gets the help she needs, but the fact that Dakota was putting this out there now is crazy to me. Like, why hasn't this been out? Well, they just got into a fight 2 days ago. So he probably could have done this out of spite. Or TMZ probably could have been looking for the police footage of the recent incident and found this. She was something, so Steph. She was something. Hey, Johnny's Acting Channel. Johnny's Acting Channel said, I support women always, but violence is violence, and she should have never been cast, especially with that video. That's the problem in America. We reward bad behavior, and look what happens, a.k.a. Donald Duck. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Hey, Cynthia. Cynthia said, hey, Nikki, I love the eyeshadow. Super cute. Thank you. I've never watched a Morin Wives show, but this all is so crazy. Yeah, they're all like this. They're all like this. Just John said the video was not hitting. Disney ABC knew all of this. They hired her for the vitality. Oh my God. Volatility. It blew up in their faces when she kept the mess up with him, which made the old case come up as well. Here's the thing, Taylor. What you should have done, especially knowing that you and this man do not have a good relationship, you should have told the show you don't want to film with him. And when it came to your children exchanging custody, you should have had your mom or your father be there to exchange the kids and you not be present. You should have made sure that you were never in that man's presence, knowing how jealous he is. Unfortunately, CM said this getting it canceled when racism, Colton lying, the whole stalker they kept bringing back on the Bachelorette didn't, child, because people were just like, I can't believe Bachelorette will hire somebody like this. We were all like, those of us who know, we're just like, Colton. Hello. Like, Bachelorette has had their controversial characters. I think this is the first time they've had video proof of somebody's harm. But they've always had problematic people on these shows. But now we have visible proof. And for some people, they need to see it to believe it. We got a lot of Doubting Thomases in this nation. Miss Brown Sugar said, oh, I think ABC did do their research. They just thought people would swallow the trash they gave because they've been getting away with it for years. I will say, I think that they knew that she was problematic, and I think that they wanted to bank on that. I'm telling you, production does not tell the network everything. You have to realize these people that are signing off on things, they are not informed as we are. They don't watch the shows that they greenlight. A lot of them don't even watch TV. A lot of them don't even let their children watch TV. This is just a moneymaker for them. They don't watch these shows. They don't know what's going on with these shows. They are not tapped into the drama from this mess. Production is, because they have to be. The networks are just the money. They just greenlight it, and that's it, and approve the budget. That's it. A lot of the network execs are not well informed on these shows. Ever. They do not know as much as the fan base. They do not know as much as production. All they know is to sign off on them checks. That's it. That's it. Cynthia said the Bachelor didn't care that she had a previous domestic violence charge. ABC deserves to lose money over that. Well, they are. They are, child. They are. L Boogie said, corner of the couch is like a box of wine. Put your right every time. Every time. I fell asleep there last night. And while I was watching 90 Day Fiance, I should have known as soon as I got in that corner, it would have been lights. It's too comfy. It's too comfy. Polymer Girl said, seriously, Nikki, you're helping me put up with my adult sons. I just laugh out because at least they say ma'am, but they hang out with me. Oh, how much of a treasure it is to have your, adult children want to spend time with you. That says a lot about you. And how wonderful you are. WNC said, y'all saw the video showing Taylor throwing the 3 stools across the room towards the boyfriend and hitting her daughter twice. Why is this a pattern for her? Who is thinking about the kids? Nobody. You also have to realize there's a lot of trauma in this religion. Like, these people, these adults now are forced to make adult decisions as children. Like, they get them married off as teens because they don't want them having premarital sex. Like, there's a lot of trauma in that religion. And sometimes this is how it plays out. Sometimes. El Boogie said, I even say close to 50 million because this was their MAGA white hope. They were probably pulling out all the fancy bells and whistles for this season. I cannot wait to binge this when they throw it on Hulu. I cannot wait to see those trips. My God, today. Chrissy said, I need her statement first. I genuinely thought that it wasn't bad, but then I watched the video. The person who wrote that statement needs to be fired. Child, here's the thing. I don't think she made that statement not knowing that the video would ever be released. Yikes. Yikes. Miss Brown Sugar said Rob Mills is the senior vice president of Unscripted for Hulu and ABC, and he brags all the time about how closely involved he is. So he might not be in that position much longer, child. Miss Brown Sugar said allegedly higher ups between Hulu and ABC have been giving her a very friendly edit in the past Single Lives of Mormon Wives season because they had already heard about the repeated incidents of domestic violence. Huda, you cannot make somebody who was so unhinged that they constantly physically harm somebody. You cannot make them the face of your show. You know how much it takes to put your hands on someone? If that is very easy for you, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And if it's very easy for you to do in front of your children, something is wrong. You're an adult and you can't regulate your emotions. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Jasmine said, this is what happens when you try to do things for shock value. The franchise is learning a very valuable and expensive lesson. Hannah said, the white women are already excusing the lady. They are putting all the blame on Dakota. Insane. I said, even with video evidence. Wow. Wow. Neglected said, if this franchise somehow survives this, what they should do is bring back Bachelor in Paradise, but make it all stars with a lot of popular former cast members and some of Taylor's men. They're going to have to recoup those men somehow. I don't know. I mean, will ABC or Warner Brothers even greenlight another show or another season from anything in the Bachelor franchise? They're going to be real pissed at them. And those shows haven't been making them money for a while now. They all might get canned, y'all. They all might get canned. Jasmine said, whether she was provoked or not, we don't know. She still needs to be held accountable for her actions. Yeah. This is probably the most accountability she's ever had. Johnny Jackson Channel said, preach, Nikki. The world needs to hear this. I'm trying. Boogie said, not Cinnabon backing into the bushes. They were the first advertiser. You're bad business for Cinnabon? When one cinnamon roll can likely kill you? For you to be bad business with them? The high blood pressure of cinnamon rolls? Child. Cameron said, and they got you on 4K beating up your baby daddy and putting your hands on your kids. Not a good look. Not a good look. Miss Brown Sugar said, Conspiracy Corner. I think the execs leaked it. I've heard that, but nothing has made sense to me. Why do you think they leaked it? Nothing has made sense yet, but let me know what you think. K235 said, I'm actually shocked that Meta's red line was domestic violence by a white woman, given everything else they seem to support. Those creepy glasses that men are wearing to record women and children, they said she doesn't align with their values. Meta. Ciao. Jasmine said, I think that Taylor would have a case to sue if it wasn't for the second charge. You're right about that. That second charge, because she has to be under there has to be something in her contract that says that she can't screw up like this. Damn shame. Damn shame. Ben. AMC. Ben. Ben. And Melina said, and both of her baby daddies have now filed restraining orders against. Yeah, she got some issues. I think she can't even go to House of Villains at this point. She's going to have to go on like a rehabilitation show. Iyanla Van Zant, child. You're going to have to go on something. Because it's going to be hard. That video is terrible. It is not a good look. Miss Brown Sugar said, this is an awful statement, Mama. You still did things and showed no evidence of protecting your kids multiple times. Here's the thing. She never thought that we would see the video. She probably forgot about that thing. BY said the show opened Single Life of Mormon Wives with her arrest. When she returned on season 2, she was already pregnant. She chose the wrong man to parent with. Dakota was already dealing with the year. And sometimes it happens with many women. They get with these men who are in the throes of their addiction, and they think that they can save them. And sometimes those women or those people who partner up with this person thinking that they can help them, they end up getting addicted to whatever substance they're using. So that could be something that happened as well. We see it all the time on Love After Lockup. Look at Michael. His baby mom, Maria, she was clearly on some drugs. Now look at Michael, strung out. Strung out. Dangerous game. It's Nas B said, look at the stream title, goes to Google, Bachelorette canceled, is legit shocked. What the heck is going on, child? Mercury is in micro braids. The Fawn Fairy says she has three. Oh, she got 3 kids? Why the hell are you the Bachelorette? Not saying that you can't be a parent in the Bachelorette, but it's just like, this is the process where you are going to marry somebody. It's like Love is Blind, where you're going to marry somebody after a couple of weeks. You should not be bringing a husband that your kids have never met into your family. Like, no. But 3 kids? The older 2 are by her ex-husband. The daughter is the oldest who got hit. Her ex-husband filed a restraining order against her today with Dakota. Yeah. This is crazy. Paula Girl said, exactly, Nikki. Reality TV is literally Lucifer's playground. No sane human will sign up. Lucifer, I mean Andrew. Yeah, it won't. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, reality TV is going to get real cookie cutter now. Because networks are watching this. And they're just like, The only shows that I think are going to remain messy is whatever's on WeTV. Because you know that show is train wrecked. Like, you're just like, yeah, we know what we are signing up for when we come to WeTV. You're not supposed to expect that from ABC. You're not supposed to expect for them to make the lead of their show a woman that is actively abusing her husband and children. Yikes. Just John has said the network pivoted from the old formula because the show is tired, dated, and well past its prime. So they are doing stunt casting. Listen, you should have just canceled it and found something else. Now look at you. Damn near $50 million in debt. So many people are going to get fired. Nasby said Bachelor producers love assuming that they know better than the audience. They got grandfathered in as far as their audience and kept thinking they would always win the audience over with their pick 4 lead. Also, you got rid of somebody who absolutely was problematic, but this was his baby. This is what he created. You got rid of him and gave it over to people that were very new to the show. You should have just, when you got rid of Mike Fleiss, you should have just canceled the show. It's Nasby said, wasn't the last season of Paradise also a bust because they went to producer heavy? Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. And we saw 2 people who won the show was awful. There was a guy, the sister that got with that white guy that was verbally and mentally abusing her. That was the love story they wanted us to see, and everybody hated that. Oh, no, I don't mean Paradise on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown. I'm talking about Bachelor in Paradise. Neglected said they need to cancel Nick Val's podcast that he's making money from since he's the one who suggested her. I don't know why they gave him so much power. I'm telling you, some Star family members, I was very disappointed when y'all suggested that I watch that podcast. Because I'm just like, what the hell do you see in me if you are watching Nick Val? That podcast is terrible. It's horrible. That man and his child bride have terrible takes. Why are they listening to him? Why did Netflix give him that creepy show? Ciao. It's Nas B said, it's the way Taylor truly fumbled the bag. Self-destructive ways that speak to deeper issues and lack of investment into this potential. I wonder how they convinced her to sign on in the first place. Listen, not giving that lady any excuses or any outs. I think she has something going on. It's like
drugs.
Yeah, I think she has
Show up
something
at
going
some
on,
point.
and they shouldn't have given her that, because if I can just see that from a clip, you knew something was going on when you sat down with her to talk about this show, and she couldn't sit still. Like, come on. Come on. Judge John said the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives will go on. It makes too much money. They got the show because she blew them up. Mom Talk pays the bills. All the husbands live off of them. Here's the thing. They might go on a different season, but this season is like, I think it's almost half done. And Taylor and Dakota are the leads. And she's the EP. That's going to be real odd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That put that show into a position as well, too.
Because now, although Hulu is the Knott's Berry Farm, however, with all this stuff that happened with Taylor, you can't have her come back. Video of her beating that man, another domestic violence charge. Both of her exes are getting restraining orders against her. They can't bring her back after that.
They can bring her back to say that she's getting help. Try to follow that.
That may be it, but that's the thing. She has to want to get the help and really do it. If she's not doing it,
So they have to make it a part of the show.
but that's the thing. She has to also do it.
Right.
And if this lady is dealing with some stuff, it might not happen. And it'll be another huge risk.
That is true.
K235 said that backlash would still be way worse if a Black woman had behaved like that. But I'm still shocked this lady received actual consequences. I'm shocked she received it same day. That was quick. Yasmin said, I think the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are going to try to let the story die down and bring her back. It all depends on how this plays out. Because if she gets more popular because of this, they're definitely going to try to bring her back.
Yeah.
So said, Nikki, why are you not a PR strategist? Anxiety. These people out here, these celebs, they're a piece of work. They would have me stressed out. I can't do it. Just Jonathan said Whitney's run on Broadway just broke the box office records and has been extended. The Other Wives will keep the show without her. The other women have actually become interesting on the show without her. They might extend it even more after all of this. They might extend it even more. But again, she's the EP of the show. It's going to be really hard to get rid of her on the season that is built around her. And that show is her IP. I don't know, child.
It sounds like something else going to come out, because if they went to take her down so quickly off of The Bachelor, it seems like something else is coming out.
I think it was just that video, but there's going to be more.
Of course.
There's going to be more. Oh my God, Emelina, that is the show. Oh my goodness. Yes, I remember that. And he put that lady's body in a suitcase. I remember that. Oh, give me shelter. Said, I think the Megan Wants a Millionaire VH1 show. What, you wanted the guy? Yep. Insane. But these are the people that be getting on these shows. These are the people. Amethyst said her daughter is with her previous husband. Dakota and her have one son named Ever. She got pregnant after the arrest. It would be smart for her to never see that man again. But again, that toxic love. There may be another kid. She probably pregnant right now. Drewski said one of the finalists on Megan's show who was subsequently on a different VH1 show. Yeah. Cameron said, Nikki, you didn't remember what happened with... Oh, yeah, I do now, guys. I do. WNC said, girl, what... No, this is not funny, but I'm like, y'all are a mess. K235 said, I don't know, y'all. The more I look at her, the more she looks like someone who will be casted as the main character in a Mexican soap opera or telenovela, like ethnic, but just white passing enough to be liked. I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Oh, El Boogie, details on the eyeshadow. This is Pat McGrath. I don't know the palette. This is Pat McGrath. All my eyeshadows are Pat McGrath. My favorite eyeshadow palette, she made it once and disappeared. Jackie Aina and that makeup brand, I forget the name of that makeup brand. That was the best eyeshadow palette I've ever had. And then I got in Pat McGrath and I was like, oh, she took it up a notch. But I wish she would have did that again. Jackie, you need to get into makeup. I don't understand why you won't do it. Kaylee said, hi, Chad. I'm late, but I wanted to say a person of color wouldn't be able to do half of what the situation has folded out to be and given the opportunity. Absolutely. A person of color with a domestic violence charge would have never been made the lead of The Bachelorette. Would have never happened. But White Passing Taylor can do it. Jess Johnson said they wanted the mess, even extended the trailer show of her taking back roses. I think we're going to see the show eventually, just not right now, especially as the exes are teaming up against her. This is messy. Chrissy said they say she slept with Dakota the night before she left to film the show. He probably thought it wasn't serious and she was coming back home. Probably. And then she came home with Doug. And he didn't like it. Deborah said ABC better get to trying to film Charity's wedding ASAP. Something. They got to do something, child. They got to do something. Kaylee says, do you think they'll maybe show an episode or two to transition to The Bachelor? I don't know. See, now I don't know if they're going to pick that guy that they were going to pick from The Bachelor to be The Bachelor, from The Bachelorette to be The Bachelor. They might have to pick somebody from Paradise. Who the hell will it be? Who are the men that are still likable in Bachelor Nation? Wavy said, watch them cancel the whole franchise and pick up Chris Harrison's show instead. I wouldn't be surprised. Miss Brown Sugar said, my theory for why the exec leaked it. Sorry, guys, my mouth is dry. So I'm like stumbling on my words. Whether from WB or ABC or otherwise, is to protect themselves against claim that they unfairly dropped her. They moved from putting her on Good Morning America to cancel in one day. Oh, that's good.
What?
Because this came out after she probably broke the contract and got into a fight with Dakota, and authorities were called. That's a good theory, Miss Brown Sugar. That's a good theory. How old is Taylor? Give me shelter. Let's see. She's 31. Damn.
You know that old woman ain't.
Girl, I was hoping you were like 23. 31. Yikes. Deborah said, I think ABC thought they had struck gold with the girl who was on Dancing with the Stars, so they rolled the dice on this unhinged woman. A mess. Miss Brown Sugar said it's not a good look, but Disney claiming to not know anything about the video gives them some distance from the Bachelorette production and TFP, personally. What's TFP? And protects their insurance premiums. I don't know what TFP means, but so far I agree with everything you're saying. BC Nick said 3 kids and a bachelorette. It's ridiculous, especially when one baby is fresh. That's a fresh baby. Can they open their hands yet? And you're on the Bachelorette? Like, it's ridiculous. RMW said, most important question is, what job will Jesse keep a job Palmer have to work until college football? Oh my gosh. Yikes. What is Jesse going to do? I mean, the Food Network keeps him paid, but child. BC Nick said, I couldn't even finish the last season of Paradise. It was so bad. Remember, I was reviewing it. It was so bad, I clocked out. They might just get rid of everything, y'all. They might just get rid of everything. Miss Brown Sugar said, bring back Claim to Fame. It was just this cute, lighthearted competition show on ABC that ran for a couple of seasons, hosted by Kevin Jonas. And yeah, I think that's what's probably going to happen. I think it's going to be a lot of celebrity-led feel-good shows. I think we're going to get shows back. I forget the name of the show, but remember that show where they would build houses in like 3 days for people with disabilities or struggling moms. I think we're going to have a lot of feel-good shows that are that have celebrities helping out the poor and working class. I think that's where reality TV is going to go for a minute, because right now hiring these unstable train wrecks are becoming very expensive. And they don't have a moral high ground. They're just going off of what is going to make them money. And the train wrecks made them money for a minute. They're not making money anymore. So now we're going to go very cookie cutter, very feel good, very showing celebrities and rich people in the good light now, because everybody's on there Eat the Rich. So you're going to have, billionaires, giving some struggling mom $1 million to start your life again. We're going to get shows like that. Miss Brown Sugar says, I want to know who Nick Val has dirt on to keep getting all these opportunities. White dude fell upwards majorly, and that show was terrible. It's a terrible podcast. Couldn't even get through it. The interviews are not good. He's literally sitting there slack down in a chair. So, what color are your panties? What? And his child bride. Nick, the color of my panties is yellow. What the hell is going on that show? Nia said, well, on the bright side, Nikki, I started my bachelor journey with you, and now I'm empty. Lord, I cannot believe I've outlived The Bachelor. Just John just said, there have been huge reality show scandals and multiple people have committed heinous acts, including criminal ones. The machine continues. I think the machine will continue, but I think the machine is going to have a different identity for a while until the unhinged psychos pendulum swings back. But I think for now, these shows are going to start acting like they're the good guys. Neglected said, if I'm not mistaken, I think a couple of Mom Talk members are EPs. Oh, so they might be able to get her off the show. Kimberly said, here in Utah, people talk about the religious trauma surrounding her and other women in the LDS church. No excuses, but there is some mental health stuff going on. Absolutely. And I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's just a fact. There's obviously something going on there with little mama. Obviously. And something going on with all of them. All of them are going through it. El Boogie said, every other day of a PR person is you did what with who? Oh no. Oh, child, I'll try. There's a reason Olivia drink every night. Yeah. They're not going to have me messed up mentally like them. Naya said, I just love how everyone knew she had crazy eyes too. Thank God our evolutionary ancestors for developing our ability to recognize that loco. Child. Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yes. Oh my God, it was so good. They ate with that. It's I have my pilot too. It's just like something I just keep on my dresser. So amazing. Cameron says, if I could be completely honest, you guys, I thought Amaya got picked to be the Bachelorette. I'm sorry, but Taylor and Amaya look alike to me. If they want to do that, but they won't be able to get her to be the Bachelorette because she's with Peacock, NBC. They're going to have to pick somebody from that. You know what? If this show survives, it may become Celebrity Bachelorette. I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of these shows are going to have celebrity leads now, and it's going to be all about celebrities and rich people giving back. I think that's what we're going. Because the more and more Donald Trump and MAGA falls out of favor, everybody's going to switch up and act like they've never been a part of it. Just you wait and see. Give Me Shelter said, I thought she had that younger energy. I really thought she was a Huda 24. Catch my drift. Well, she's probably 34 in mentality. They take them right out of high school and make them brides. Social Steph said 31 is ancient in Mormon years. Ciao. BC Nick said 31, 3 kids, 2 baby daddies, 2 restraining orders, and a cast of Bachelorette. I want her agent. Exactly. You see how a white woman fell up? She did the unthinkable, though. She put her hands on a white man. Them white male execs at ABC said, absolutely not. We can't platform her. Oh, ciao. Hey, Ramel, thank you for being here. It's their baby's birthday? Oh, God. So are they celebrating that child together? This is just messy. What? Social Stuff said, you know it's going to be a train wreck, that show with Kenya and Tamar. Kenya and Tamar have a show? Oh, it's going to be a train wreck. All they're going to do is fight. What show do they have, y'all? Oh. Upcoming Amazon Prime Video reality show. I'm telling you, these reality shows are just going to be all celebrities. That's where it's going. El Boogie said, oh, no, they might bring back that awful dating show where they paired musical couples together and made, oh, God, they may do that. Oh, reality TV is going to be so boring. Cameron said, Extreme Home Makeover. Yep. Please don't bring that show back. It's people who are literally thousands of dollars in the hole as of today over their houses being made over. I think they're going to bring back some form of that. I really do. All the shows are going to be led by celebrities, and all of the reality TV shows that aren't led by celebrities are going to be billionaires trying to show that they are the good guys. I definitely see Jeff Bezos doing some kind of show where he's giving back his fortune and being like, oh, I had a stroke and I had an epiphany. And, I realized life is short. And so I have decided for the next 5 years to give my fortune away. Just wait. We're going to be here. And we're going to be talking about it and be like, remember when we was on that live? Ciao. It's the best thing ever. But it's so dangerous. So dangerous. K235 said, yikes, that sounds very dystopian. Shows about billionaires helping struggling people because they all know the economy is about to crash. And most of us will be in poverty looking for some glimmer of hope. Yep. That's where it's going to go. Ramel said, I haven't watched the Bachelor franchise show in years and years, and I never watched The Mormon Wives. I watched The Mormon Wives for one season, and then I just was like, I can't keep up with this. Because it's just like, I know that they're MAGA, and I can't. I just can't. Give Me Shelter said, that was true. I heard every girl had an EP credit, which is great if they last long enough for syndication. The Real Housewives never get residuals for their reruns. Now, if they last long enough for syndication, this is also a streaming service. So they'll get residuals, but they won't be network TV residuals. If you're going to do TV, you want to aim for network TV. Streaming services, they do pay well and they pay quickly, especially Netflix, child. But it would be better to be booked on ABC because network TV just pays more. L Boogie says Celebrity Bachelorette would be a hot mess. It would be a hot mess, but if the lead is a celebrity, they are going to be forgiven for their mess, right? The show will probably start off with the person having a lot of issues and this is them reclaiming their life back or something like that. They can make it a redemption story with a celebrity because it's easier for a celebrity to fail because they already have a built-in fan base that is going to love them no matter what. With these influencers and reality stars and YouTube stars and TikTok stars, they don't have as much of a cushion to fail. They're not going to be given as many chances. Like, who would be a celebrity that would do a show like this? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Dorit, right? Because I can't think of anybody else. But no, she's a reality star. Who's like Octavia Spencer? I'm just thinking about that. She's like a legitimate celebrity. She's going to have more ground to fail and be difficult, because she already has a fan base and she's already been crowned within the legitimate A-lister space. Influencers aren't going to be able to fail like a legitimate celebrity. And also influencers are being made by the oligarchs and the heads of these and the heads of these networks. They're being made the fall guy right now. So everything is going to be pulling away their access and power and influence, and it's going to be put back on celebrities. Camille Alexandria are saying, they said that they're saying Doug looks just like Dakota. This does not help, child. This does not help. Everybody said we might be watching more scripted shows again, child. Listen, as an actor, that's good for business. I'm here for it. L Boogie said, I'm so happy I have a DVD player and a VCR with DVDs, copies, discs, and tapes. I wish I would have never got rid of my DVD player. L Boogie said, I haven't had to sit about it in over a decade. Now I want one in Auntie Annie's pretzel. That Auntie Annie's cinnamon pretzel. So good. So good. Romel said, I bet Kris Jenner is calling to get one of her daughters to be the next Kylie. It will happen. It can happen. Especially as the Kardashians are falling out of favor. Give Me Shelter said, gotcha. I can see how legacy channels pay more and they have a nearly 60-year history. Meanwhile, CBS, how dreadful. How dreadful indeed. K235 said, LOL, honestly, I could see Courtney K being on The Bachelor. Like, that's where I think it's going to go. That's where I think it's going to go. It's going to be reality TV. It's going to be a lot of redemption stories. Now they're going to be looking for real love stories. A lot of wealthy people being the good guys and helping out the people who are in need. It's going to be very cookie cutter for a minute. Probably the rest of this man's presidency. It's Nas B said, looking back, the Bachelorette peak with Hannah Brown season, they sure did. And the Bachelor peak with Pilot Pete season, I agree. As far as recent seasons with social media impact, the timing and the casting was just TV magic. I really loved Charity season, but the white girls couldn't get into it. But I do think overall Hannah season was their best. Oh, they do? I'm gonna look into that. We're going to end with Nas B because we're over our 3-hour mark. And I remember the last time we went 5 hours, you guys were like, oh, this is too much. So we're going to end here with Nas B. Nas B said there's been rumors for years that Khloe was going to be a celeb bachelorette. They probably offered her, but she turned him down for the baby's father. They might offer her a nasty check. And you know them Kardashians don't turn down on money. They will die for a dollar, child. So that might be next, y'all. That might be next. We will see. Anyway, Star family, we're over our 3-hour mark. I'm trying to keep our reviews under 3 hours. Just because, sometimes we can be here for too long, and some of you don't really like that. But here's the thing. I always put the timestamps in, so you never have to watch the chat. The review is in the beginning, and the chat is after. The chat is for us. We have the review in the beginning for those who just want the review. But I think you should always stay around for the chat because it's so much fun. But anyway, Star fam, I've had a great time with you. Thank you all for joining me for this very last minute live. A lot is happening. My God, today, these reality TV shows and their drama are going to keep me working. Tomorrow, I might do an emergency reality TV chat about this. If anything else happens, we will see. But I am going to do a reality review, a reality TV review video, live tomorrow. So check out for that. I may do another live if any more information comes out or if any other reality stars want to show their behind. We will see. But anyway, I love you guys. Please make sure you like the video, share the video, hype the video up, and I will see you soon for another live. Love you all. See you soon. Bye. Lord. One thing about